What's going on, people? How's everybody doing? The internet is still slow. I have not moved yet. That's why I haven't addressed the internet speed issue. Let me know if I'm lagging, if the connection's good, because I'm only getting 7 megabits right here, and I know you can get up to 100 megabits in a lot of these apartments, so they're being cheap. But what's going on, everybody? How are you doing this Sunday? It's Sunday night here. It's 9 o'clock. But if you're in the U.S., what is it? Like 2. So, what's going on? Looking forward to spending some time with you guys and share what's going on. Nerd Novatech, what's up? How's the connection? Is it lagging? I don't know. What's going on, man? Lots going on. I definitely was at Milan last night, so I am still tired because I didn't get back for a long time. And if you're into close friends, it was a good one. I was out there with Kai. Great time. But going out, I'm done going out for a while, I think. I'm done going out. I've been going out a good amount, and I'm still in this apartment. So I didn't get everything done that I needed to get done. We did do a lot of content. I'm working on the Tigoni tea farm videos. One from Arvin talking about the leasehold freehold from his perspective is in the members only right now. I thought that was a good conversation. There's some more stuff around that topic. I've been meeting with some attorneys. I'm supposed to meet with an accountant this week or next week. A lot of these people are shy to get on camera and they want you to like send them questions, and I'm like, I don't do it like that. So they're always a little scary. So to getting the professionals, which is a big part of this mission on this trip, is I know it's going to be challenging, and I haven't been here that long, so it's no big deal. But that's part of the plan to get those guys, um, get that information to you guys, because I know there's all kinds of information going back and forth. Can you buy property? Can you not? Or can you get freehold? Can you not? Oh, then the taxes. Everyone's talking about all kinds of different things with taxes. So we want to clear that up as much as possible. I'm not just going to talk to one person. If we talk to I want to get 3, 4, 5 lawyers and kind of ask them the same things and let you guys come to your own conclusions about what you think. That's kind of the whole mission here. But I guess I'll give you guys an update on what's been going on, because the handover process for these off-plan buildings is quite annoying. This is my second time doing it, and it's the worst part of the whole thing. I think if you guys don't really pay attention when you're looking at the property, and or just like let little things go, it's fine. But I try to get them to bring the property up to the best condition possible, and then dumb stuff happens. So, for example, obviously the grout issue, but they redid the grout and they still did a bad job. Because, hey, see, Griffin, what's going on? Wait, let me check this. Let me check this. Hey, did that work? Did you guys hear that? I hope so. Um, oh, I don't know if this is playing through the. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Is my soundboard working? Let me know if you hear the soundboards. I'm pressing buttons. Anyway, um, they redid the tile. Of course, they didn't do a good job. I think that one you just got to chalk it up. I looked at the cost of grout. I'm probably, I don't know if I feel ambitious enough to do it. Oh yeah, the soundboard's not going through. Okay, um, I'll probably, maybe I'll do it myself. I'm not saying I will or won't right now, but because buying tools, like it's hard to source things. Like you can't just go to Home Depot. Which is a business idea, right? But I don't know if things work like that. Like, would people utilize Home Depot? I don't know. So they redid the ground, not happy with it, but that's the best they're probably going to do. So, oh, if you're not in the members, you probably didn't see the video for my property that I'm taking possession of, but it'll come out in about 2 more weeks, I believe. And, I've been working on that. There's a drawer that doesn't close on the soft close properly. And then there's like a trim piece. Like if you see this cabinet, when it's against the wall, there's like a trim piece that connects them. And I guess they ran out of pieces or something. So they like filled in a gap with just like mud or putty or whatever. And it looked really bad. I was like, yo, fix that. But then they fix it. And then the wood piece is too short. So then they took the wood and put it higher and then just cut a piece and put it under so you have a seam in it. And I'm like, none of the other rooms have this. Like, I want one full piece. I don't want the seam. And they're like, well, we don't have any more materials. And so I'm on the phone with them on FaceTime, and there's like all the Chinese managers and the sales lady is there. And they're like, oh, well, what do you want us to do? We don't have the piece. And I'm like, I want a full piece. Like, well, I'm not buying the property to be like makeshift put together. Look, this is a trim piece and it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's the principle of some of these things, right? So it's like, I want it to be like everybody else's unit. Why do I have to get one that's worse, right? And so there's all the silence, and I'm just like, they're like, well, we can move the piece up. And I'm like, I don't want you to move the piece up. I want a full piece. I don't want a seam. And they're like, well, we don't have that. And I'm like, okay. And I don't like to go full being a jerk, so I wasn't like, well, get it. But I'm like, so what do you want to do? Like, I don't want it like that. And it's not, that's not how the other properties are. So, and the other bedroom doesn't have that issue. So I'm like, I don't know. And then the other thing that I noticed when I went back after I gave them the first list of repairs, it looks like they scratched the floor in that bedroom where they were working. It looks like they dragged something on the floor. I'm like, uh, okay, so then I don't know if it was actually scratched or if it was just dirt, but it looks like it scratched the floor. So I don't know if they fixed it up or not. But when I go back, because you can use like a little filler or like a little marker that's the color of the floor to kind of hide scratches. If I see that, I'm gonna be like, no, replace the floor. I didn't scratch it. You guys do like the way they do construction in these things is just so unorganized and it's just not procedurally correct. Like they'll have tiles in the common areas and then have workers going up and down and carrying stuff on top of them, and they're dropping stuff on the floor and scratching and damaging the floor and the steps and stuff as they have on top of new materials. So this is their problem is they don't do things properly because it's not really just like the grout. The grout actually is less work if you did it properly, but they just don't. The people that they have doing it are not trained and they're not training them. The same thing with scratching the floor, you know, like what it just doesn't make sense. Like why you put brand new floor and then you're going to drag stuff on the ground. But again, the workers are getting paid whatever they're getting paid, probably not a lot, and they don't care. And then if there's not oversight, then you have all these dumb problems. So it's pretty annoying, especially in the finishing. Anything with paint, anything with caulk, any kind of liquid finishing material is never done well. Basically, I mean it's really small stuff, but you're spending $87,000 on the apartment. I expect it to be in good condition and not. because they'll try to give it to you dirty too. Like they don't even have a cleaner come and clean, and then they're sanding spackle or whatever they got going on. So now it's dusty. So I'm like, oh, you got to clean this. Yeah, the construction workers play a role in these simple mistakes, but it's really the people that are in charge of the construction workers, because these workers are clearly, most of them are like unskilled, pretty much unskilled, right? So you got to train them and you got to have like quality control. And again, these are kind of minor issues, but I know from like a US perspective, if you were buying something, you would not like it how this gets done, because they basically try to whittle you down and make you get tired so that you're just like whatever. But I'm just like no, and I'll just sit there and look at them like, so what are we? So what are we doing about this? And they'll just sit there and be like, well, I don't know. We don't have the part. It's not my problem. I don't know. And I was expecting for this, because the first developer I purchased from, I think, was not as good or not as thorough than the developer I'm dealing with now. So I was hoping that it wouldn't be this long dragged out thing, because I'm still in the Airbnb. I'm waiting. Now I'm paying money to stay here versus being able to stay at the place that I purchased. And I was excited to get that all situated as sooner rather than later. But it's it's annoying, and I was expecting this developer to be better about it. I do think overall their quality is better, but it's still like, these little dumb things that I find are like the industry standard, at least within the off-plan developers that I've dealt with, um, is pretty common. So it's like fighting an uphill battle sometimes. Yes, they need to work this out. They are taking cash from you. You need to get 100% value. Don't back up. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's an annoying battle. And did you lose me? Sorry, guys. Um, it's very annoying. Oh, and for me, it's kind of burning money staying in the Airbnb. So the faster I could get in the apartment, the better it would be. So I'll probably make a video about the handover process more in detailed when I'm over at the property and how to go through it. Because I do know some of the common issues. So at least you can go look for certain things, because certain things you wouldn't even think about. For example, like the shower enclosure, a lot of them are not very well enclosed, or they'll have gaps or something. So they'll leak water. So then the bathroom has a whole bunch of water. Then you got to leave the extractor fan on all the time. And then you always have a wet, kind of musty bathroom. And that's in many of these Airbnbs. It can be like that. So, oh, the network's shaky. Yeah. Sorry. Again, this is why there's so much incentive to being able to get to the new spot, because I was trying to go on some people's lives and stuff, and that they have invited me to, and it just was not working out. So, I'm just sharing my experiences as I'm going through it. But yeah, I definitely want to make a video about the handover process and how to inspect one of these off-plan properties. The other thing is there's a lot of construction going on over there, and people are moving in, but it's like it's noisy. I mean, this isn't that bad. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, obviously, if you move in that quickly, but I kind of didn't think about it, that there's still a lot of construction going on. So, like, trying to move in at that time is kind of crazy, because there's still trucks coming in and out. Interestingly enough, on the lot, so I feel a little, because so I got an interior facing unit, but it still does have a okay view of like Gong Hills, and it's again on the top floor. And the reason why I picked that unit rather than like an outside facing one was because Dennis was telling me that the lot next to that building just got purchased. And when I was driving by there now, I see the sign that there's a change of use for the government, meaning that they're building something there. It's probably, and it was rumored to either be a mall or an apartment. So if they build a high rise apartment right next to your building, I think there's like a 4 or 6 meter setback. So you're going to be like right up on each other, and then your beautiful view that was from that corner would be gone. Which leads me to say, make sure you guys, if you're purchasing these properties, go and check out the lots around it. If they're underdeveloped, you might want to ask or assume at some point they might get developed and they could block your view depending on um, the location of the buildings and such, because that could definitely happen. Am I is the like I might be on a delay, but is the stream clear and can you hear me good? Let me know if you can hear me properly. Even if it's a delay, I guess with one person is not a big deal because you guys won't see the internet issue. But let me know. Appreciate it. What else do I want to talk about with this purchase? Here's the other thing. They already have all the money, so I don't have as much leverage as you normally would because I already made my final payment, which you probably should wait. Okay, stream is good. Cool, cool, cool. But I would tell someone to not pay until you're satisfied with the checklist at the end. But I already paid. Yes, all's well. Just glad you found the time for us today. Oh, thanks, C. Griffin. What's going on? When are you coming out here? I've been going out a lot. Kai's leaving next week. So we went out to Milan, and he knows some good people, I'll say. And yeah, you got to be in the close friends for that because I don't share that stuff. But it was a really good time. Really nice group of people that we were with. I'll say that. We had our section. Kai was balling out. He bought everything. Johannes Teklu. How's the weather there? You see, I got a hoodie on. It gets cold in these concrete buildings. It's not actually cold though, but it will. Like if you haven't been, the stereotype is Africa's hot. Nairobi is not that hot. Oh, you're coming out October. Okay. Dang, you're coming in when I'm leaving. I'm leaving October 1st. That's unfortunate. Uh, the weather, let me look up what the weather is here right now. Okay, so we also went to the Polo Grounds the other day. Okay, so the low is 53 Fahrenheit, 72 high. And that's pretty much for the next 10 days. But it rains sometimes, and then for a quick second, and then the sun will come out, and then it gets hot, and then the sun will go behind a cloud or something, and then it gets cold, and the wind will blow. Like you kind of need a light jacket, but then it's annoying. Like that's why you need a car, because like then you don't have nowhere to put it. It's annoying when you're carrying stuff. But then if you have a light jacket, you're gonna get hot. It's hard to dress, like because when the sun's out, you could probably wear shorts. But as soon as the sun goes down or gets cloudy or something, it gets cold. So I mean, people that like cooler or more mild temperatures would really like it. Like my best friend, business partner, he would love this weather because he likes when it's cold. He'd be putting the window down in his car in the wintertime. I'm like, please stop. Where I'm at is 103 to 91. Where are you at? Dang. That's the Middle East? 91 low. Where's that happen at? Yeah, I bought a hoodie today. Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw you was in Gong Hills, which I always want to go up there. Um, I don't like wearing a hoodie just because I don't like how it looks out here. But I forgot my light jacket, and oh damn, it feels like 1:15. I want to get some clothes made. I know NC Nairobi is cool, Nelvin, but I want to look at some other places, and I don't know if you can make a jacket, but I just need like a light jacket, but also something that you could wear out somewhere nice, but also like casual enough to just wear anywhere. What's up, Shay? What's going on, man? Are you still out here? I know you go back and forth a lot. So the weather is an interesting thing. What was I going to say about polo? We went to the polo grounds. That was a nice vibe, but it wasn't as many people. I think in the summertime here is probably better for that, but definitely a good setup. We got the little VIP section. Man, the vendors, there's like all kinds of vendors that just keep coming up to you trying to sell you food, which is kind of annoying, but they're nice and they don't like linger, but they will keep coming back and checking on you. Kind of like it's weird because there's not waiters, but the vendors are the waiters. So they'll just keep checking on you, trying to sell. But yeah, it's long sleeve t-shirt type of weather. Yeah, for sure. But see, then when the sun comes out, you get a little hot. But Kenya has a lot of different climates too. Like obviously the coast is a lot hotter, but even when we were out in Tigoni, it feels a little bit different. I know Karen always feels cooler because of the trees and everything. So it definitely just depends on the environment that you're at back in the States now. So do you feel when you go back to the US, do you feel like you're in the Matrix? Because I go back to the US and I'm kind of miserable. I'm not going to lie. That's why I'm working on moving. I need to find a schedule for the polo club. They're on Instagram, and that's the best way to do it. I would say show up if you want to get a section. You need to be there at like 1 or 1:30, and so you can get the table that you want. If not, it doesn't matter. But I think they end around 5, and then it's like the after party thing. So if you're into that, I don't know how to get into that members clubhouse. I'm sure if I just walk up there, it'll probably just let us in. But it's it's a nice vibe, and the racetrack is also nice. The polo was interesting. I was shooting a little bit of a video, and the ball came up to me. I stopped the ball. I didn't know if I was supposed to give them back the ball or whatever. But like, the polo, they're right there in front of you. You could just walk up right to the edge. I'm literally on a flight back to Chicago from Johannesburg, and I'm depressed. I'm telling you, I almost don't recommend coming because if you come for 2 3 weeks, you're gonna and I've seen I oh man, I'm sorry, I can't think of his YouTube name, but I so identified with his video because he was like, dude, since I got back from Kenya, and he was not like a big travel creator or anything. That was the cool thing about it. He was like, it's been like calling me, which sounds so goofy. Like if I heard someone say that, I'm like, man, shut up. That's corny. But I I felt the same way as like there's just like a little voice in your head. Kenya's calling, warmth, the smiles of good people, the affordable lifestyle, all that stuff. And then you go to Fridays and you go out to a discount diner restaurant place and it's like $50 $60 for nothing and it's not good, and then like why would you ever go out? So then I'm going to all the places, having the best time, best experiences. I mean, it's hard to go back the other way. It really is. His name is Cat, right? Oh, so because my internet's so bad, I would look it up and bring it on screen, but like I'm a little scared if I try to browse the internet is gonna crash my stream. So I'm not gonna do that. But otherwise, I was gonna plan. I wanted to react to that video because I felt the same exact way. Like since the first time I came to Kenya, it's like a virus. Like you just don't want to be in the States, you know what I mean? And like, thank goodness I have although it's very challenging to, you know, turn my real estate business in the US fully remote. There's a lot of structural things that I have to do there. There's a lot of logistics and work, but I do have the privilege of being able to come out here and I can just move. Obviously, I'm just trying to do it in a more sequential, strategic way. Um, my joke is that I don't leave the house until I leave the country. Every time I go back home, I turn. Yeah, yeah. So that's me. I don't go out. I have a really nice house with like it's not that big, but I have like outdoor kitchen. Like it's like a restaurant out back, basically. Then I have a pool. It's like a little mini resort. So I don't go anywhere because it's not worth it. But I've even gotten to the point where I used to like have parties and like invite people, and I don't even do that much just because it's more trouble than it's worth. Plus, shoot, like catering for people gets kind of expensive. Why aren't you in the apartment you bought? Yeah, so I was talking about this earlier, but I'll just catch you up real quick. I'm I'm go fighting through this handover process right now. I keep asking them to fix stuff. We keep going back and forth. Which this is the problem. This is why it takes so long. First of all, the sales agent don't answer text messages and or calls sometimes, and I see that she's rushing because when I spend time with her, she's on the phone. People are calling her, like her phone's blowing up. She can't even concentrate. So you can't communicate. So then I gotta physically go there, and then you got to Uber. It's the whole thing. You get over there, basically it's a big time suck. Then you got to go over there and be like, yo, this is messed up. I want them to fix this. And then what they're going to do is fix it as cheaply and as like easily as possible. But that's not going to be acceptable for a lot of things, right? Because it needs to be brand new. So doing a janky fix on something that's brand new is ridiculous and unacceptable. So then you got to tell them, then you got to fight with them and push kind of hard and let them know, no, I'm not taking it like this. And then you got to do that whole thing. And then they still might not fix it good. And then you got to go back and check on it and do the same thing over again. And now we're 2, 3 weeks in. So that's kind of how that goes. Marcus, what's up, man? Appreciate you. That's so dope that you got the NFL thing going on, even though it's for the Commanders, which is our rival. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm just messing with you. The Lavington apartment was really nice. And see, this is another thing I'm working on. The property manager, I think, is slacking. We had somebody rent, and then they were able to move out. Because I guess if you give enough notice, you're able to move out, even if you have a yearly lease. Again, when you don't know these things, you don't really know. I try to leave it to the professionals, but now I'm having to get involved. So I'm having to shop the apartment around because, again, there's no Zillow to get your place rented out. So you need someone that has a lot of connections to find the people that need to move in. So that's another annoying thing that I have not even gotten to address yet. I mean, I could have, but again, I'm going out, I'm doing things, and then I will handle some of the business. Plus, I'm doing the furniture shopping, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Um, I currently live in the States, and you're moving to Kenya in September. Oh, wow. See that why I'm going to rent first. That's awesome. Where's no Novatech's in here? Is it the toilet? I know that was an issue. The grout is I've given up on the grout fight because they already redid it, and they're like, "Well, we don't know what to do," and they actually don't know what to do. I'm probably just gonna end up one day doing it myself. But you gotta buy tools, you gotta get the grout, which is very cheap. But again, like it's like when you're here and you're trying to do stuff like that, um, like I had to think like where can I get a tape measure at? And then I have to ask people, where can I get a tape measure? You know, it's not that easy to do stuff. And it's like you're a new it's like you have to learn adulting all over again or where to go and stuff because there's not Home Depot because I would just go to Home Depot and buy all the tools and then come. But it's not like that. There might be one shop that has this, another place has that. This place don't have it. They're closed. This place is far away. And then you add in having to go to different places via Uber is very annoying for all the Uber issues going on. So it's just a lot. Everything takes a long time to get done, especially for me because I don't know what be going on all the time. Uh, yeah, I'm going to talk about furniture. You have 6 months for handover, which is a blessing. Yes, but I would not rely on them to come back and fix stuff after you do your handover, you know? So I take the approach of it needs to be in the condition I want it to be. Now, if you realize there's an issue later, I agree. Brian, what's your favorite football team? I'm from the Philadelphia area, so the Eagles, which we're winners. Can your agent do it? They should. Part of me doing it is because I want to get the experience. Because I'm advising people, and I don't know. There's definitely some opportunities to do some real estate business out here. So the more that I learn and deal with it myself, the better. But yes, they should and they would. But again, sometimes they just move it too slow. I need to move fast. So like Dennis was there. He already asked them to fix certain things like months before I came, or a month before I came. He even like tipped the workers so that they did a good job. So I mean, he's definitely been helpful as well. But this was the same thing that happened last time. It took me like 4 or 5 weeks to finally do the handover because of all the issues. Thanks for answering Q's. Been following the journey. Love the apartment. Thank you. At what point do you just do the handover and simply do the fixes yourself because it's more cost effective than to keep waiting? Well, certain things. Okay, so if something has, that's a good question. Um, if it's like a material that needs to be replaced, I have no idea where to source things for construction purposes yet. So I'm a little tentative on that. Plus, it's kind of the principle. Um, if you're buying something new, I expect it to be new. Now, that is maybe a bit of a culture clash thing to some degree, and maybe there are concessions that could be made, and I do make them, but I basically try to advocate for myself the most possible. But like for example, the grout, I pretty much have given up on them doing the grout right because I don't think they know what doing the grout right actually is. So even if you ask them and they tried their hardest, they probably can't do it. And when I say they, I mean the particular workers that work for these companies that are, I'm not saying underpaid, but they're not paid very well. And that's this type of standard that they're able to do. They're not trained. I'm not blaming them. I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying you end up doing it yourself. Like I could do it, right? So it'll look good. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it for content. But yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, it doesn't really cost money per se to do this whole pushback and forth, but it does take time, which time is kind of money, and you're trying to enjoy the place. So yeah, at some point I'll be like, all right, and then maybe I'll fight the fight after the 6 months. But they give you a checklist that you sign, right? So if you say everything's good, and then later be like, "Oh, this is messed up," they're if they want to, I think that they will be like, "Well, you said it was good." And then they can play crazy, like, "Oh, well, it got messed up after," that whole thing. And these are things that can happen in the U.S. This is not like the unique thing about this market maybe is just like how they do the construction or like fixes or finishing. If you got something built in the U.S., I wouldn't give them money, and I'd keep giving pushback. I would deal with the situation the same way. Um, Benevolent dictator. I'll be in Nairobi this September. Hopefully, we'll see you around. I gotta get the hell on the stage. Fortunately, summertime Chicago is a vibe. Oh, okay, that's what's up. I'll be out here till October 1st. I've been bumping into a lot of people. We met some guys at the Polo Grounds. We didn't talk to them too much, but that was pretty cool. We met a really cool dude at was that the Gemlin property. He didn't want to be on camera or anything, but he was super cool. We invited him to Milan. If you watch this, you messed up. I know you had a flight today or something like that, but you should have came because it was worth it. Oh man, it was a nice time. But I wish I would have chopped it up with him more because he does like some property in Dubai and stuff, and he's been coming here. So we actually just met because we were both looking at the property at the same time. I also met somebody outside of my apartment. I think he was Kenyan or probably somewhere from the continent, at least from his accent, and he was like, "Oh, the information's helpful." So that was pretty cool. China Square, Two Rivers Mall for basic tools. I've been trying to avoid the Chinese spots. Like, is there local spots? I know it's probably more annoying, but that's the time I'm on with that. B, what's going on with the Uber? Let me talk about Ubers, and I'll talk about furniture purchasing, which is more positive. Uber. So they have Uber and Bolt here. Bolt is like kind of like a lesser one. It's a little bit cheaper, but less reliable. Drivers, cars, etc. Uber. So I have my card attached to my Uber account. Most people use M-Pesa. The Uber drivers prefer you to pay with M-Pesa. I probably could convert to doing that, but it's more friction. I just get out of the car when Uber pulls up. If you're using M-Pesa, you got to get their number, put the number in, wait for them to confirm it, all that stuff. Takes an extra couple seconds, not a big deal. A lot of Uber drivers will call you to try to find out where you're going. And when they call you, that's a sign that they're either going to ask for more money or not want to go where you're going if it's like out of the normal areas. Um, so that can be a bit annoying. I understand it from their perspective. I actually drove Uber way back in the day, a couple weekends. And, like for example, we went to Tigoni, which is like 45 minutes outside the city. They're not going to want to go there because once they go there, they're not going to be able to get a ride back. And so if they have to drive back without a passenger or a fare, they're kind of losing money. So, and they don't know where you're going when they accept the ride. So, to be fair to them, I understand why this game happens, but it's annoying. So sometimes they'll like when they like you'll get in the car, and this hasn't happened this time, but it's happened to me a couple times on my last trip. They see it's on a card, number one, and then number two, um, if they find out you're going somewhere else, they're going to be like, "Nah, I don't want to do it unless you're paying more." So then you can't. I'm like, "All right, I'll cancel it." Then another person, and I don't. I'm not reporting nobody or like, I don't give them a hard time about it. I'm just like, okay, and it's annoying though. But again, I understand because first of all, they're not getting paid that much. So, there's that. And then if they're going outside of the area, then they could be losing money going out there. So I get the dynamic of why that happens. My recommendations, though, is don't use your US number for your Uber, because now mine goes to my local phone, so they can actually call me, but I never answer it, and then they get mad about that. Uh, uh, so don't use your local number on there, because if they can't call you, then they have to get there, and they're less likely to do that because they've already taken the time to drive to you, so they're probably just going to take you. Um, if if I think it's reasonable to give them a couple more dollars if you're going outside of the city, generally, because Uber doesn't pay that well, and then the rate and everything I just talked about, I think is reasonable. But yeah, always check like the license plate, always say their name, and do all that kind of stuff. So, but basically, you can't just go when you want, and then you got to wait for them to come. Oh, this is the other thing. Sometimes they'll take the ride and just be sitting there and wait for you to answer the phone. So then you got to cancel it, or you could answer the phone and then they try to negotiate. That's annoying. All these things are annoying. Not the end of the world, of course, but like, say you're like, I don't know what. This is the one thing in the States I do think at least is better, is like, I just hop in my car, go to one spot, go to the next spot. Here, there's a lot more friction. There's gates. There's like, the parking tokens when you go to the mall and certain things, and plus there's different pickup locations, and then there's not really an addressing system. So there's just a bunch of little things that can be kind of annoying about Ubering. That's kind of annoying. Interesting post buyer story. Oh, thank you, thank you. I also wanted to ask, do you like sports? I do. I was talking to people. I want to go to like a football match out here, but all the ladies tell me don't go because they be throwing rocks and it's all rowdy and stuff. So I don't know. Any recommendations on short-term rental stays? Airbnb can be a ripoff to an extent. The real ripoff is the hotels. The hotels are charging crazy money. I don't understand. Um, I'd say stay in Kileleshwa or Kilimani. I think Westlands is overpriced, but if you haven't been here before, I guess Westlands will make you feel a little bit more cozy. It's more relatable to like how Western places look, but I don't think it's worth it at all. Um, Ask them the name of the building before you book it and what floor the apartment is on. I much prefer a higher floor. You'll get a beautiful view. It's worth it. You usually don't pay more. Um, what else can we say about it? Using Airbnbs. Usually, though, there's like an electronic lockbox or something. They'll give you a code, and then you have to sign in at the gate and tell them what's going on or whatever. Rent out the apartment, I mean? What do you mean? I don't know. I'm a Saints fan. I like the Eagles, though. Okay, okay. The Saints are cool. I don't have any issues with the Saints. Largely cheap, unskilled labor, yeah. There's little cab and driver, etc. Yeah, I just use my card in the Uber and tip through there as well. Yeah, I think they don't like it because maybe they don't get paid right away, and then Pesa comes through right away. Uber in Mombasa was the worst. Yeah, they're always going to hit you up for more money. Plus, they don't like using the air conditioner in them Johns. I guess because it's using the some extra gas. So if you hit traffic, you're sitting in that John, stank. You start sweating. Oh, demand it to go offline every time and get paid in cash. Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. That's how you get kidnapped or something. Something bad could happen when that happens. They don't like Uber taking their cut in taxes. Exactly. Better to buy a car. Yeah, I'm looking at a Ford Ranger Raptor. I might downgrade to the wild track. I don't know. But that's what I'm looking at. Car for hire is a thing over there. You could try that. That I was considering that because man, is it annoying. Because I'm trying to handle all this other stuff. Then you got to sit there and do this Uber thing. Like this is an American attitude, but this is also why we're very efficient and we get stuff done fast because I don't got time. It probably takes 3 to 5 minutes of friction dealing with the Ubers, maybe even more because you got to wait for them to come. Overall, it doesn't. It's not actually a big thing, but to me, it's annoying. Well, I only do Uber. I never do Bolt. Wasn't a fan of Kilimani. We'll try Kili Lakeshore and Westlands. I wonder, like, what don't you like about Kilimani? The traffic? If you don't like Kilimani, I think Kili Lakeshore is just a little less congested version of Kilimani. You're really moving. Buying a car is a big deal. Yeah, I'm gonna kit that thing out. I'm gonna put all the Safari stuff on. I'll put some lights. I want the air filter that comes out the top. Something real rugged because I want to be able to branch out more into the country. When we were in Tigoni, our agent Arvin, I felt bad because he's driving like I don't know what kind of car it was, but it was like a '90s, just think Honda Civic type car, kind of low to the ground, and we're driving on dirt roads in the tea farm. Rocks are hitting the bottom of the car. Oh, I felt bad. Kilimani is where my off plan is. Excited. What did you get? Well, I don't want to get into your business, but I'd be curious to know what you were getting. But yeah, I I think Kilimani's good for the price. I do think Kilileshwa's I would rank it higher overall, and then Lavington, of course. But if you're in Lavington, you're a little bit further away from everything, which is good and bad depending on what you prefer. Kilimani roads are tough too. Yeah. So Arguings Kodak, the main road there, lots of traffic, and then once you go off that main road, those roads are busted. But I keep telling people they're not fixing the roads until all the construction's done. There's so much construction going on. So I feel like Kilimani right now is getting a bad rap for temporary issues. Yeah, Lavington, if you don't like the congestion, is good. Like Lavington has still some building controls with like the heights of the buildings and stuff. You can't build in Lavington a lot of tall buildings. There's certain sections that you can. So it's kind of keeping Lavington a little bit more, it's not suburban, but it's less urban than Kilimani, right? Also, you have James Kashura Road, which I think is a nice road and is pretty fast, and that connects you to Westlands. So not too bad as far as like the type of roads that are around there. Yes, it's local currency. The traffic potholes drainage seems very congested. Yeah, when it rains there right now, it is bad. Oh, I don't know this one. I can't even say that word. Something Gardens. I need to check out Laresho. Is that on Mombasa Road direction? Because I haven't gone down Mombasa Road. Like Siko something like that is getting popular as well. No one talks so much about there. Yeah, they don't. Um, the African Nations Championship 2 August. There will be no stone throwing. Is that going to be at the new stadium? Is it going to be done for that? Or is that? Oh no, they renovated another stadium. I don't know where that one is. I saw the new stadium they're building on Gong Road. I'm definitely coming for the African Cup of Nations in 2027. You've been watching Kenyan outdoor YouTubers, haven't you? What? Good Point Construction in Kilimanjaro is Kilimani. Yeah, UN headquarters moving to Nairobi. Yeah, it's been a topic of some conversations with the real estate people out here. Uh, for sure. That's eh, I guess that plays into the Tigoni thing. So, guys, I had the most amazing experience, and I know I got to talk about the furniture. A real estate agent, Arvin from Pam Golding, took me and Kai out to Tigoni, which is in Limuru County, and it's known for its tea farms. And we saw a 5 acre plot that was for sale, which is essentially just a tea farm on hills. It's incredibly beautiful. It was all inspiring. I can't even believe the experience I had. I'm super grateful that we did it because at first I'm a little skeptical. Like, who are they? Because people reach out to me now wanting to do stuff, and I got to screen them. So I'm like, but it's been working out very well. But the farmers, the owners of the property, the two brothers were there. They literally gave us a class on how the whole tea farming industry. I know how to do it. That's how much explanation they gave us about how to do the tea farming. I learned a lot about the industry, but also, I mean, just like being out in the country was really nice. I'm not a city person. I'm a suburb person from the U.S. So I've never really been in farmland like that. Like in Jersey, we'd go by farms or whatever, but like not being on the farm, just being there was incredible. And the beauty, I've been reviewing the footage, and it's 2 hours of footage, so the edit is I got to figure out how to edit it because I want to do it justice, but you have to be there to experience how beautiful it was. If anyone's been to Napa Valley or wine country in Northern California, similar to that. Beautiful, beautiful. Hold on one second. There's a air of the drawers kitchen. Okay. So super beautiful place, amazing experience. I'm taking my time with the edit on that because I mean we learned about tea farming. Oh, so we saw 5 acres, and then we were on an estate that is selling 1 acre lots, and they had like two left at kind of reasonable prices. And imagine having a house on one of them hills. Oh my goodness. And it's about 40 minutes from the city, hence the truck, because but it's crazy how they do the infrastructure because they basically they took the farm, they still do the farming, but they started adding this, so they added water infrastructure. So every lot has its own water connection now. And then they added like a pump and a borehole that's solar powered. So then everyone has water supplies to it. And so they've already marked and sectioned off all the lots. And then there's plans where they can expand the different pieces of infrastructure as more people start buying or moving in or doing whatever use that they happen to do. Also, we got which was the estate was incredible. Like the views, like the hills, the tea farms. You could see everything, and then there's two forests there that are protected, so you can't build on them. So like I mean, just incredible. Um, just the whole experience was really crazy. When is expected delivery? What are we talking about? Kale. They moved already last month. What are we talking about? Loresho is near Westlands, but direction going to Waiyaki Way. Oh, okay. Right near Ring Road. Oh, okay, okay, okay. You can try going for a rugby match, way better than the football matches. Yeah, I know Kenya is good at rugby, not so much football for some reason. Even though y'all got some of the most athletic people in the whole world here. How much you think it will be for a full furnish and design for a 2 bedroom? So I am doing that right now. how much is very subjective because you could probably do it for with appliances and everything, probably like 500, 300,000 shillings. I have a 1 million shilling budget, which is about 7 grand for appliances and bedding and mattress and everything. I'll tell you, I found a really cool bed. See, this is a weird thing here. Is like a lot of shopping you got to do on Instagram. You got to find the right pages and ask people. Um, Hold on. Let me I'll get back to the I just want to check the chat before I get into my whole furniture thing. Yeah, Tigoni is about 45 minutes. A million shillings, Willis. Check him out on the live end. Tigoni having any land dispute issues? We asked about that. I don't think so, but when I go back and review the footage, I'll make sure. But we asked some of those questions about, are foreigners welcome to buy here? Are the other farmers going to get upset? What if you build a house on what was the tea farm? Oh, I got to share this. Man, so we're with the tea farmers and Arvin and me and Kai, and I forget how. Oh, they said they were like, you got to understand that, because they were saying like some of the people that work on the tea farm, like they live outside, like they don't have a house. And then later on, they were like, yeah, but you got to understand that they might not have a house, but they own land. And I was like, that's crazy. And then I'll always remember he said, everyone comes from somewhere. And I thought, that is incredibly profound from a Kenyan person saying that to an African American person, because like we don't know that, or we don't know where we're from exactly. And it goes deeper than knowing. Their family has had the land for generations, and I don't mean a few generations, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, right? That's crazy. Like the concept doesn't even register because there's no similar idea for us about that. And I thought that was really um, very profound. I don't know. And it made me understand this not well, for lack of a better word, the hostility towards some of the land issues, right? Because when someone says it's ancestral land, it's literally the land of your ancestors that your family is tied to for, I don't even know how far back you could consider, but I think that's such a different thing than like how we experience any of that. And so I've been doing research about the land disputes and such. So then in real life to have that experience, and even that small um, thing that he said, everyone comes from somewhere, was really, it's a big, I don't know, it's very profound. I still think about it. But but see, imagine, say, not for nothing, you don't have a lot of money and you don't, things aren't going well, but your family and you yourself have land. I think that's like a big, like incredibly big thing that could give you confidence as a person. Like I think it has such a big impact on your psyche in general. So I think that, I don't know, that makes us a lot different, And I'm kind of just thinking out loud. Um, I don't know how to put into words I don't know how to put into words kind of I don't know, like what, I don't know. I'm still like unwrapping what that means, you know? Oh, but to answer the question, I remember I was talking to Arvin about the land disputes, and the important thing to understand is the chain of title, which is on what's called a green card at the county land records places. If you don't have the full chain of title, someone could claim the land and it can revert. So if it becomes contested, there's some kind of courts that deal with this issue. And he said, absolutely do not buy any land that is contested in any way because you can definitely lose it. So hopefully that shines some more light onto that topic. So for any foreigners thinking about even broaching that topic, you need to understand the dynamics with that to some degree, for sure. I mean, you could get lucky, but you don't know. What's your favorite nightlife spot in Nairobi? I prefer Ibiza, Milan, Habanos. Milan was really nice. I'm not a big club person. I'm more like a Oyster Bay and the location kind of guy. And I know I got to get back to the furniture. I will get back to that in a minute. I just want to get back up with the chat. I see a big super chat too. Let me get to that in a second. Yeah, Oyster Bay and the location for me. I do like Bar Next Door if you feel one of more local type vibe. Bar Next Door in Kileleshwa. I heard the one in Runda's nicer. Ibiza's cool. I like Milan because I'm really gray. I know I'm old and boring. The music wasn't too loud in Milan, at least in the section that we were at, and I like that. I don't like. I was in Black Samurai. I People were talking directly in my ear. I said, "Forget it. I don't know what you're saying. I'm not trying to figure it out. It's too loud." Expected delivery December 2026. Exciting. This is the crappy thing about the handovers is it kind of ruins the experience because I want to be excited about it, but I kind of got to be a little bit of an asshole, and I'm never an asshole ever in Kenya. I'm like super overly polite. I make myself even less confrontational than I otherwise would be, and I give everyone the benefit of the doubt with a lot of things. But with the handover, I start having to be a bit assertive with like, no, I'm not taking this because there is this like East African chill vibe thing going on that they'll try to use to get you to just go along. Like, everyone's like polite and stuff. So you can easily seem like you're doing too much if you're giving a lot of pushback. But it also makes you feel like you shouldn't. But sorry. On handovers, I'm holding them accountable as much as possible. You should see Curicho if you find Tigoni mesmerizing. I'll have to look it up. I'll write it down. Thanks, bro. I'm looking at a place with June 2027. I can't wait for the diplomat. I might have to buy a, but the big 2 bedrooms in the diplomat was very expensive. But I might end up getting a spot for me over there. But I don't know. I'm looking at the land. I'm doing everything. It's crazy. I got to make a decision, but I want to get some land. But again, we'll talk about the leasehold freehold thing a little bit later too, because I was explained another way to do it. But again, we're still figuring it out. Um, we want quality customer stuff, custom. Oh yeah, so we're going to talk about that in a second. Um, Tigoni, not Tiguni. Oh yeah. I want to do a dark rustic moody. You can get any. Oh, black tiles. Yeah, if you're changing tiles and stuff like that, I'm working. I'm working with a new developer. I mean, interior designer that did the one for my property in Lavington that I ended up never using, and she's kind of associated with. It's a whole thing, but she's really incredible, and she's an influencer as well. So hopefully we could do some content about um, the interior design and all that kind of stuff. But again, I've been starting the shop for myself, so I don't know. I'm keeping my options open, and we'll talk about it in a second. Pay it, Willis. Hey, Willis Wilson with the $20 super chat. I super appreciate that. That's freaking awesome. Dang, that's crazy. I wish I had the soundboard working. See, I don't think you could hear it here. How can I make it play? Dang. Oh, here's why. Is that going to work? Is it going to work? Did you hear it now? The air horn? But thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm going to get to the furniture thing as soon as I get to the end of these comments, if I ever can get there. Thanks to spell it. Wait, so I knew that Ryan would know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Dang, we got the grammar police in here. And that's why when stuff goes down about land on the continent, it goes from 0 to 100 real quick. That's why South Africans will never move on until. Yeah, I agree. And I didn't understand it as deeply until I looked into it more. And then that conversation, I mean, because I don't know, like, because we were asking the farmers, like, yo, this land's been in your family for like forever. How do you feel about selling it? You know? But what I did realize is, like, over generations, because families probably own this hundreds of acres at points in time, but then as you have, and I don't know if that's accurate, but it seems like a family would own like a lot of land, because there was less people back in the day. But as you have more family members, the land gets broken up over time. I don't know how it works, so you guys could tell me. I'm kind of just assuming, but they were saying, if a family member's not doing good, maybe they sell some so that they have money, like stuff like that. But I'd be like, shoot, why would you ever want to sell? But if you need money, I guess how that happens. What's wrong with the handover? Yeah. So we talked about a little bit before. How do you feel about emeralds? So that video. Oh, did you see the video? What did you think about the video? But Emerald Springs, good location. The one bedroom's very small. As an investment, I think it's good because I don't think the size is going to be that relevant, and the location is quite good. I do, but I think the Diplomat's better for the price, I think. But I don't think you go wrong with any of them because, I mean, the Diplomat's walking distance from Emerald. But it's a little small. I feel like their build quality was very good. If it's funny, if you look at the renderings and then you look at it in real life, it looks like the renderings quite accurately. I don't think you can go wrong with it. I don't think so. The 2-bedroom is much bigger, but it depends what you're buying it for. Because I would buy the 1-bedroom as an investment, and it's completing sooner than the Diplomat. So I mean, you got to factor that in. Like if you're looking to like do something sooner, because man, I got to wait till 28 for the Diplomat. But I'm so excited about that. But I kind of want to pick up more units over there. But then I say that like, I don't know. I want to look more into the land and building something and doing a farm. I don't know. So you can't spread your resources too much. I'm trying to buy at the place Pandora next after my handover. That's on the agenda to go over there. I got to look into who's building it because they're being incredibly ambitious with what they're trying to do. They're comparing it to the GTC building. If they can do that, I think it would be really dope. Although the location, I think, isn't that great. Yeah, see, who's the builder for Pandora? I don't know. I'm also going to do a tour of some of the Hosketsalt developments. There's one in Kileleshwa called Enrogue. Actually, right down the street from where I'm at now is that Novu, in Kilimani. I see them excavating it now, and they have a sign out there. And then 1870 in Westlands, really nice, beautiful thing. I don't know if they have a showroom, but I'll go check them out. The problem is, I keep trying to call them, and my $20 Safaricom phone is not working on phone calls. Time is money, and you've been answering my question. Yeah, anytime, man. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. I try to be as helpful as possible. I have been, to some people's criticism, have been monetizing on certain things, but I do appreciate it. But I do like to help. Like, that's how this whole thing started. But it is cool to get recognized and be appreciated. Because I could be. I was tired when I came on here, but I've been doing this every Sunday for like, I think, like 6, 7 weeks now, and I wanted to keep it up. So I appreciate it. That gives a boost that makes it feel worth it. It's not really about the money per se, but just like the appreciation. So again, Willis, I appreciate it. I'm going to get to the furniture. I'm sorry. I'm just I try to respect everybody's comments. Have you ever been to other African countries? I have not. Isn't that crazy? But when I come here for longer term, I'll have to, because I have to leave and come back. So I want to go to Ethiopia. A lot of people, like, there's not a lot going on, but the history there is crazy. Um, and obviously the people are kind of unique because it's the only country that hasn't been colonized. And I don't know. I'm interested in that, but also maybe I'll go to Zanzibar. Kai went there. I don't know. We'll see. Kenya is the size of Texas. There is it only Texas? That's crazy. Um, Lamu, Malindi, Kwale, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret. They're hot and cold places like Nanyuki. Yep, yep. Have you been to South Africa? You may like Cape Town. Yeah, Cape Town is on my list. But again, South Africa be rubbing me in the wrong way. Plus the crime, not feeling that. What do you do for work to maintain your lifestyle? So I own a real estate brokerage in the US. I don't flip houses really anymore, but I was flipping houses, and then I own rental properties. And then our real estate brokerage, we also do property management, which is probably my favorite thing right now, because I could do that here without much of a problem. My real estate brokerage, we have 7 agents, um, and we were kind of scaling, but I've kind of decided to come out here. So uh, I've been kind of having to build the infrastructure there, because it was, I was pretty much doing all the operations. And so now I'm having to scale that. Um, to work remotely, like, because a lot of stuff can be done on the computer and the phone. I just got to get like the physical things done. uh, that's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I mean, I do other stuff on the side, video. um, I do see, I don't know how I'm gonna, because it's good money. I do some marketing and consulting for like local um, campaigns, political campaigns in South Jersey. So that's something that I do that you can't do remotely, really. So I did a couple clients before I left, but the campaign season's coming up, so that kind of sucks. That's another reason why I had to go back in October, because I got to get back and do some of that. I watched the video and loved the design. I need to check out Diplomat. Diplomat doesn't have a show house, but if you look at um, Wonder Properties' previous projects, it'll give you a good indication of the quality. They, I like how they do their layouts. I like how they do their amenities in the buildings. And I think they're a higher quality developer. So I kind of felt comfortable with it. Ryan will love Cape Town when he visits. It's the most beautiful. It does look so beautiful. I don't want an investment property. You're shopping for yourself. So if the size doesn't bother you, it's fine. But I don't know if you're staying there long term in a 1 bedroom in a small Emerald. I don't like that. Even if you have like a guest over, if you have the 1 bedroom, the wall is like right behind the TV. If you get the 2 bedroom, it's good though, I think. But again, the Diplomat with the amenities and everything they're trying to do there, I think it's going to be better. I prefer the Emerald developer. They spent money on quality and look great. Yeah, I agree. Their quality is definitely there. I didn't even see too much of a tile grout issue. Yeah, I think Cape Town would be his vibe. Dopest city in Africa. Wow. Yeah, I got to get to Cape Town. Pandora is going to be amazing. We got to check. We got to check the developer for Pandora because what they're selling is dope. I don't know the prices or anything over there, but once I got into it's kind of cool. I like to kind of go into it open and then ask them the questions because then the content comes out better. I always try to keep it. I don't rehearse anything, so when I'm doing those tours, kind of the concept is I want you to feel like you're the one there asking the questions, almost. So you're getting the vibe. They built Lacewell House One. Perry West. Oh wait. Oh okay. I don't know all these ones. 2 beds are nearly sold out with Pandora already. What the heck? That's like a 3-year project. It just got announced recently. Urban Oasis, 108 Riverside. I don't know those ones. The crime thing in SA is overrated in a way. Just a lot of violent crime happens in the U.S., but it gets a pass. SA is not South America. Oh okay. Gotcha. Well, this is why anecdotal evidence isn't good. But like I know, like I've seen a couple of videos from travel people that I have known before, and they had uh like passport heavy. He got robbed in South Africa. I think that was Joburg. But like they came in there with guns and took everything and tied everybody up. Now that's one incident, but still. Concerning what non-Chinese developers do you recommend? I think Haas Consult is Indian-owned one. I don't know of any bigger developers that are not Chinese. I think there's some Somali ones and stuff, but they're lower profile developments that I'm not too familiar with. How many neighborhoods really do Americans overlook but are very nice for expats? Really do. What do you mean? How many neighborhoods really do Americans overlook? I'm confused. Oh, the only thing my off plan don't have is no pool. What? Pool is standard. But do you use the pool? Pandora is money. I love SA, but it's literally a mafia state. Crime gets a pass. Jerry's turn. What's up, man? I prefer the Kenyan people are overall just more loving and law abiding. Yes. Let me go to Willis's question about the furniture or what I've been dealing with. So, furniture shopping out here is dope in a way because you can get whatever you like, however you like it. Okay? Because there's they just make furniture. Like if you go on Gong Road, there's a whole bunch of furniture makers and you can go up to them and ask them to build stuff. I would say you got to see what they've made before. They usually have like an Instagram account and they'll show like their work. But I found this really cool bed and I ended up chatting with them and then I went to the location and it was kind of outside the central business district. And I don't like going to CBD just because it's like hectic. And then you get out the Uber, now you're out there. And we pull up. I swear to God, that street looked like somewhere in North Philly. There's like trash and there's a narrow street and there's all these like shady looking buildings. And then like they have like the storefront thing that's open. And they just got furniture laid all in front, like almost to the street. It's like kind of on there's like a grade, so it kind of goes up a hill. And they're working on furniture and they're building stuff. And I'm like, is this the spot? Like, shoot. There's dogs just running around. I guess someone owns them. I don't know. and they're like kids, like it's crazy. It was like a crazy kind of weird situation. And then I meet the guy, and he's like, "Oh, over here," and it's just like, dang, I should have uploaded the picture. It's just like a whole bunch of furniture parts in this bay. Like you can't barely even walk in the thing. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I can make this in 3 days." And then he has all these materials on a swatch, and you can get any material that you want. And then I was like, "Well, how high is it?" And he's like, "Well, I can make it any height you want." And I was like, "Oh shoot!" So then I have to like look up what's like a good bed height, because then you got to figure out what the mattress height is and all that kind of stuff. But basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you could get anything custom to your, like if you want a couch you can get different sizes. Like if you see something you can show them a picture and they can make it, and you could be like, yeah, but I want it smaller. If you have a specific space to that you want to put it in, you can get it to those dimensions. So you basically can do anything you want with the furniture. And the craziest thing is I was at the mall, and it was like half the cost of the stuff in the mall. And when I'm talking about cost, I was like feeling like the chairs were like heavy chairs. Like in the U.S., I feel like that chair would be a couple $100. It's not like a Amazon dining chair that is like made out of some kind of thin wood or something. It's like real stuff. Then as I'm there, which again looked like a shady North Philly block somewhere. I remember my dad dropped me off at oh, wait. My dad brought me to this tire rim shop one time, super shady, where you get like a tire for $20 back in the day, and they sold sound systems, but it felt like super sketch, the chain link fence and all that. I'm telling you, the street looked just like that. Looked like the hood. But this is where that American stuff is different, because when you see things look like that, in my mind goes to danger, but it's not really to me. I don't. You have to realize it's not like that generally, which is pretty cool. But anyway, the stuff is half the price and seems like the quality is as good, maybe even better than some of the stuff in the mall. So the bed was with the nightstands, two nightstands, a 6x5 bed was 60,000 shillings. It was like $400. It was four or $500. So I was very excited about that. I could go and find everything. The problem is you need an imagination to be able to buy this stuff, because or to get stuff custom made, because I don't have an idea of what I like. And we found this guy on Instagram, you know, and it was kind of word of mouth. I asked a couple of people, and they sent this guy's page. But I mean, I have a real appreciation. Like I was watching them build stuff. Like he had a couch that he had the foam on it wrapped up, and he already had the frame together. And he was just out there building furniture. That's so cool. Like I just have appreciation for that. And then I was thinking, someone would pay like if you could get bespoke furniture for your house in the U.S. How much would you pay for a couch? 5, 6 grand. I think people would pay around that for a bespoke solid wood piece of furniture. Then I'm like, dang, what's the export cost on furniture? Because you can legit, you know, partner, do something and help them sell overseas, bespoke, custom, get a nice website, um, be able to send them pictures or something. Like that could be a dope business. But the big issue is what's the export cost and the tariff and all that. But I think you could get a product that would be competitive in the market bespoke. I would just do only custom. I wouldn't like ship pre-made stuff. Like you'd have to make a custom order and then have it sent out. I think people would pay for that, because this stuff is good stuff. Like it's better than Amazon stuff that you would buy, right? And then if you buy higher quality furniture in the US now, like if you go to like something a little bit higher end than Ashley, that stuff is going to cost. And I think this is the equivalent quality. So I think it's I don't know, might look at, there's so many possibilities. You come out here, if you have like a business mindset, and I would say you need to have done some kind of business before, because like there's things that you just don't know. And then you add the foreign aspect where you definitely don't know certain things. That's a lot of recipe for disaster if you try to go in without any experience. But if you know what you're doing, like say you worked or like in some kind of furniture field, like you could, if you came here, you probably could really figure some things out for sure. Because I don't know nothing about the furniture market. There's probably more nuance to it than that. And then comparing the quality, you know, you would kind of need to know what's going on. But there's something there with that. Um, Next to Pandora is being done by a good Indian developer. Yeah. Let me get to the current conversation. What's up, Mike? What's going on, man? Looks like Gotham. You guys are still talking about Cape Town. Don't go to Cape Town Flats. Literally most dangerous. Okay. I've heard a lot of YouTubers getting robbed in Joburg. People aren't talking about the crime in Kenya, the goons raiding homes to take over land, the police killing innocent people. Your favorite YouTuber now saying he has to hire private security. Oh, yeah. I think even he would probably say, or the sense that I get is that he might be part of why he needs to get the security, though, to be honest. But I did see that. I thought I saw him in Milan, but I might have been tripping. Um, oh no worries. I've heard about the Cape Flat. Oh, you guys still talking about that? I don't mean to skip over all this stuff. Oh, exactly. I have no imagination. That's why I need a designer. I have a really good designer I can send you. She does. Let me find it. I won't upload essay. I'll show you the crappy way. I'll just put the phone on the screen real quick. I'll show you how she did the design because I thought it was dope. So she does this. Hopefully you can see it good. It's kind of bright. Hold on. Let me turn that down. Okay. So she does. So this is exactly where the stuff goes and the exact pieces that she was going to purchase for the living room. And then this was the bedroom. And like she has the exact art piece. Like this is all the items, right? And then she itemizes it super professionally. And these are the actual numbers. I don't know if you can read it, but it's each item that's in the graphic itemized. And then she charges 10% of whatever the total is. So if it's a million, she's getting 10% of a million, 100K. I think it's worth it because you want to get, like, if you don't have imagination, just let her do it, to be honest. It's worth the 10% because it's that good, especially like for a space that you really want to look nice, that's cohesive. Because you're going to spend mad time trying to source all these items and you don't know what you're doing. And you probably end up overpaying for stuff. So if you overpay for stuff, you might as well pay someone to buy the stuff at a better cost and design it anyway. So that's kind of where I was coming from with it. And I'll put her info somewhere. Interior design is not easy. That is correct. The cool thing here is you can get things custom made because trying to buy select pieces and make them all fit together is even harder. Shipping is hard to figure out in Kenya. Yeah, I know Austin Holloman has that guy that does the import export. Um, Hopefully, I can bump into him. Or oh, I'm going to the that Nairobi Nexus meeting next time, so hopefully that guy's there. I'll talk to him. Good idea if the export expense is low. Yeah, it just depends. Like, is it feasible based off of the transportation and taxes? I don't know. You go buy wood and call the fundi, and they make it for you where you are. Yeah, yeah. I met the import export guy. Austin has interviewed. I think you two would be an amazing conversation. Yeah, because there's so many. Man, I think if you could make a pipeline for like local Kenyans to be able to sell at US prices would be so dope for them, but also like a good business opportunity. And I think kind of the culture here, like there's an entrepreneurial culture, but I mean, sometimes you just got to think real big, and maybe there's a capital needed or something that could unlock the opportunity to be able to do that. He needs security because of his antics. You know, I don't I don't like to hate people be giving Austin because what he did is like super incredible, especially like at the age to take the risk and do it and be successful at doing it. And I almost all his sentiment I agree with. His delivery and everything is probably like how I would have delivered stuff when I was in my 20s. You know what I mean? And he's doing a little extra, he'll say it with extra sauce because it's the internet. But he's I don't know. I give he should get a lot of respect because honestly, there's probably like hundreds of Americans here that probably weren't here before, whether that's good or bad. And I feel like I might be contributing to it now to a degree, which is a little weird. But Willis, could you send me a message on like Instagram or email, and I'll send it to you. Because I kind of want to talk to her before I blast her info everywhere. But I could like give one, I'll send a direct referral. I'm supposed to meet with her tomorrow, actually. And, hopefully she'll be willing to do content. I was talking about this before as a little bit of an issue, not on the business side, but, we know some of the same people. So I didn't know if it was going to be an issue. Very professional. Yeah, super impressive. Super impressive. I felt very comfortable. Hit the like button, everyone. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. LOL. Been around Austin after a couple drinks. He may be part of the reason he needed security. Yeah, I don't know. I hope nothing bad happens. PC, it's all over Kenya, to be honest. Just put in goons destroying homes. No hate, but the security is for the Kenyan people, not him. I'll slide you his number, import export guy. Okay, appreciate that. Check out Ashley Furniture. They have several stores. Yeah, yeah. So we have Ashley in the U.S., but I didn't like anything in there. And again, they're like double the cost as the custom people. Now, is like, I guess the downside is you got to pay them a deposit. And now, what happens if you don't do it or it doesn't come out the way you like? Then you're going to have an issue with that. So buying in a store has its advantages, I'm sure. What's up, Ryan? How's Nairobi? Amazing. Very awesome. I'm enjoying my time. I got to stop going out. I'll tell you that. Got you. Hold on. Let me send this to Wilson right now because I will forget. And I want to make sure I send that. I think this is a. No. I could send you this. I didn't know if it was her personal IG, but it's public. Here you go. Yeah. Ashley is overpriced and tacky. Yeah, Ashley looks like it's made for old people. There's a lot of like wood looking stuff in there that's from the 80s and 90s, at least from like our standards. I think Discount Hub is masquerading. He ain't doing that. No, see, we do got to keep it real, okay? There's a lot of content that's just like only positive, and while obviously I love it here, I do want to tell you guys some of the annoyances. To be fair, like the Uber thing, um, like the handover process. Trying to go to South Africa in November. When's a good time to go to Cape Town? When the weather's good. No hiding a dupe in here. Yeah. So that's been my furniture. So I'm torn because uh, Kai gave me someone that's been doing some design stuff, and now I have the other designer helping, and then I'm sourcing my own furniture. So it's a whole mess, and I'm probably going to disappoint somebody because I if I buy it all myself, then I don't need the designers. If I use one of the designers, the other designer's going to be let down. But you kind of got to do things like that because sometimes people don't come through here or they take a long time or whatever. So you need multiple options so that you don't get stuck and have to go back to day one and go, back to research it, like, or find another person. I'm meeting with a car guy on Tuesday that has a dealership or a used car dealership. I'll probably be looking to purchase the vehicle next month, but man, it would be really convenient to have it right now. And I want to get like an off road type truck because I want to be ready for anything. And I think the better suspension is good for these roads for sure. I don't know how people like why would you drive a C class Mercedes here? Like I see them and I'm like, dude, every bump I would be cringing. I know they have good, they have decent suspension, but like it's a you're paying a little bit more premium and then you're beating the car up a lot of times. And it's not even designed for this type of environment. The Land Cruiser is definitely the most practical or thing that I see the most. It makes the most sense. Hopefully, I will visit Nairobi, Kenya one day. I haven't been to the continent yet. I hear South Africa is a soft landing. Yeah, but South Africa is like going to America. That's how I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm coming from. Yeah, I'm hearing it's cheaper to go to Mombasa as well. So I might try to find some connects out there. This is the benefit of having friends here. I ask a lot of people. I ask the same question to many people, and then I try to like figure out what's real and what's not real from, or whatever for my opinion that way. But yeah, it should be cheaper in Mombasa. But I'm meeting with a guy. But these people all know each other. Like these things connect. So even if you meet somebody here, they might know somebody that has something from the coast. They can bring it up. I don't know. SA is like America. Have you been there? I probably shouldn't say it because I don't know, but that's kind of my point of view. And not to keep talking about Austin, but every time he says something, I find it to be true, especially about Kenya. South Africa isn't black enough for me. Yeah, exactly. Like, your first time to the continent, you're going to go to the place that had apartheid that's like 20 to 40 years behind, probably like 20 or 30 years behind the US on race issues and such. I don't. Cape Town's beautiful, though. I would go there because of that. Um, and because so many people talk about SA, so I would still go there. But for your first time, I don't think so. Girls don't eat food in SA; they eat your money. Yeah, I heard that's even bigger there. I don't know. I mean, you'll get that here. Okay. This is like a members only conversation, but I wasn't a part of this, so I had an interesting observation. So I was at Oyster Bay, which is like a lounge bar restaurant. It's kind of outdoors. and I'm at the bar, and there's like an old white guy smoking cigarettes and eating deviled eggs. I don't even think they're on the menu. And he's got a bottle of Glenfiddich 12. It's like pretty expensive scotch. How do you be a member? There's a link. I'm scared to go through. There should be. There's a button on my YouTube where you can hit it. There's a couple different levels, but anyway, I can send you the link later. I don't want to mess with the computer because my stream is already. It says it's unstable, so I don't want to be opening another browser to copy the link for you. Sorry, but he's sitting there. No, no, no. I only did it by accident one time because they don't tell you. But okay, so he was sitting there smoking a cigarette, eating deviled eggs. I was very confused. He had a bottle of, I think it's like $100 in the States or something. So it probably was quite a bit, a couple dollars in Oyster Bay. And he's smoking cigarettes, and he doesn't look very healthy. Let's say that. And he's probably like 60 something. Beautiful Kenyan lady comes, sits next to him. He's pouring her drinks. He's now she's ordering stuff on his tab. And, optically doesn't look like a match. uh, and then she's looking at me and the person I'm with on the side. I'm like, this is so weird. And you'll see this in Mombasa almost every day, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to Nairobi Nexus on the 8th, I think it is. Are you going? I'll be. I should be there. Anyway, another even more beautiful Kenyan lady sits on the other side of him, and now he's talking to both of them, and he. I don't know who ordered it, but a flight of shots with oranges on top come. 5 shots. I said, is she going to drink 5 shots? What? The person I'm with is like, well, she has to if she's going to be dealing with this guy. And it was just because I was sitting like right next to them, and it was just it made my day very entertaining. Also, where are these deviled eggs coming from? I have no idea. And he's like, touching her back. I'm like, ugh, it's cringe. Ugh, ugh. And they were drinking the bottle, and then see, something very spicy happens with the person that I was with and one of the girls that was sitting with the guy. But that's got to be a story. That part I can't talk about. That's got to be in members only whenever we get that kicking off. Which, shout out, we got like 15 members in there right now. So appreciate all you guys. I wish I had the soundboard. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to be doing even more great content, and definitely some of the more spicy stuff will go in there because it's fun to talk about, but we keep it professional right here, okay? Because this is mostly about business, Kenyan lifestyle, a little bit, expat stuff, we got to keep it on the topic tight. Okay. So I can't tell you that part. But the weird thing was the guy paid the bill and left. He left both of the girls there. What's that about? What happened? I don't I don't understand what happened. Oh, one thing I can share is that he was showing one of the girls a video of him driving like a convertible with another Kenyan lady that the person I was sitting with recognized as some kind of Kenyan local celebrity. And she was like, "Oh my God, what?" And then she was like, "No wonder that's how she's able to travel and do all this stuff." And I was like, "Duh, she don't. You thought she was able to do all this stuff doing makeup?" Oh my goodness. It's just such a weird experience, I'll tell you. But if you go to Mombasa, you see that scenario everywhere, all the time. If you go to Kenya, you got to get some Java House, okay? A lot of people like Art Cafe. I do think Art Cafe's food is better, but certain things Java House is good. Oh, so I don't like to tell people this, but I am vegetarian, and my Uber Eats I ordered. Oh, I got a couple good stories for you guys. I ordered a egg and cheese breakfast burrito from Java House, which is actually real close to where I'm at. I probably should walk there, but it comes and I'm eating it and it's good. It's real good. And I'm like, is that sausage? I done ate half of it. I ate sausage. I didn't know. And nowhere does it say that there's sausage on this thing. And when I ordered it again the other day, it didn't have sausage in it. So, guys, I ate meat for the first time in many years by accident. But did I finish eating it? I did. Because my whole thing with the vegetarian thing is the treatment of animals and factory farming, which actually really doesn't apply out here because most of the stuff is humanely, naturally grown or whatever. So it's really actually, I probably could eat meat out here, but I just actually, it's like a lifestyle. I just don't do it. But if they already done, if they already prepared it, I might as well just eat it, you know? So I ate sausage. And then I have another, let me get to the chat, but I got another interesting story about language here. Yeah, so how are they running Uganda when Idi Amin kicked them out? That's what I'm confused about. Mombasa was straight up sex tourism. Uh, yeah, I don't like to see it because some of the girls are young. And Kai was saying in Zanzibar, he see them with like, it looks like they're like 14. That's nasty. That's beyond nasty, actually. That's like not cool at all. Let those ladies get into that inheritance money. Yeah, I didn't like it. Pillow time. No, oh, the girls were not fighting. They were cool. Like it was, everyone was vibing. It wasn't like they was jealous or anything. I'm sure the girl was probably glad the other girl came so they could distract them. Bruh, finish the story. I can't. I appreciate the $5 super chat though. I I can't finish that story. It's a little too spicy. That was an interesting night. Some missed opportunities happened. I hope she did not touch your date. Ah, I'll give you a hint that there was an interaction. It's all right, bro. I be tricking by accident all the time. How is the power water situation? Never had a water issue. So this is okay. When you're looking at properties, you do need to know how they're getting their water and how they're doing hot water. Some places will use solar hot water, which is a tank on the roof or whatever, and the sun heats it. And I do think there's some kind of energy generation that also heats it, and that'll be for like the whole building. And I've seen it on houses. You'll see this. It basically looks like a water tank, uh, a water heater sideways with pipes coming off of it. And then they have the, oh my God, why can't I think of the word? Holy crap. The tankless water heater. So there might be like, so my kitchen right here, maybe there's one under there and it's just hooked up to the sink. And then there's another one in the shower. Or they could have a centralized one, but usually you don't see that. But I was saying that to say, if the sun's not out for a long period of time or it's not that hot, the water don't get that hot at this apartment. So if you don't like that, that could be an issue. Um, in the summertime, it's not an issue, but during this is like the winter time here, so it could be an issue. Power situation. You know what? We have not lost power since I've been here, but last year or in January when I was out here, actually I stayed at the same building. The power would go out like 5 days in a row at 5 or 6 o'clock, and that's not a big deal. Other than the internet goes out, my solution would be to have a battery backup, like a up system, a UPS. It's like a big like surge protector, but has a battery in it. If you use that for the internet, then it's not that big of a deal because you could still do everything. When you're buying these places, you need to look at what they'll all say backup generator, but you need to know what they back up because some only back up lights or some only back up certain outlets. You need to know that. It's important. He just wanted company, maybe. I guess. He didn't leave with them. That's weird. Tim Black, you would definitely drink bottled water, but as far as running water, there is an issue. I had one power outage for less than a minute when I was there. It can be frequent in certain places and certain times. It was a lot for me. Curry chicken. What? I was asking, like, which neighborhoods are overlooked by American expats in Nairobi that are worth checking out? Well, I'm exploring the areas outside of Nairobi, the counties directly outside, because I think there's some opportunities there. That's why, like, I guess the Hariru video was kind of interesting because that's 30, 40, 30 minutes from the city. Um, inside the city, I'm not familiar with too much of the ones like there. Kitsuru's could be interesting. Sikomo, I'm not saying that right. I've seen people at, I don't know though, like if you're an American, you got to live in the best spots. Like, why are you going out of the way? So I don't really have a good read on that right now. I think Kilauea, if you're staying for a long term, is the best. If you're just coming here to visit, you can stay at Westlands because it's walkable. Things are a little bit closer. It's a little, like you'll save time, which your time is the most valuable because you're not here that long. If you're here longer, not a big deal. IG is just a platform for 304 work. Dang. Uh, ah, I only, I'm trying to, I've been learning slowly, but I don't know what that says. And dang, tell me to translate it. Somebody. Glove ignores allergies. I hate them. What? Vegetarian must be ex-Navy. No, 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 no. We don't do. I'm not a seaman. Ex-Army. Okay. Glovo. Yeah. I thought Ryan was vegan. No, vegetarian. Also, why do people think Nairobi is not safe because of protests? It's weird, and the fact is, the U.S. has similar protests and looting. Because to be fair, a good amount of people get killed during the protests. Now the goons have been coming out like infiltrating or getting part of the protest. That just kind of changed the dynamic of it a bit, I think. And the way that it's covered is they only cover things like that, you know, like the BBC and all that. And there's been criticism. Like they only cover stuff when it's like typical things that fit the African narrative of look at how things are messed up over here, you know. See, Griffin, that was funny. You see where it's like another thing you see is, and it's usually a white guy. He will be with two ladies on a date, and I don't know if it's her friend, if they're both on a date, if she just brought her friend to be comfortable. I don't know what it is, or if they just running up the bag on him. I see that a lot because now he's paying for two ladies on a date. But I don't think he's really talking to both of them at the same time. But I don't really know. Carnivore murderer. Oh, they're back in Uganda. How'd they get back when they got kicked out? I don't understand that. Young and dirt poor. What? Yeah, see, that's sick in Zanzibar. I haven't been to Zanzibar, but I heard that is sick. Water boiler? What you mean? Warm up hot water in a pot and put it in the bucket. Java. Oh, yeah. I know some of that. Siokimau. Ah, thank you. I appreciate that. That Swahili word Ronnie said meant you like gossiping. Just check that out. Oh, really? I don't know. Hello, Karibu, Kenya, but I'm abroad. Hi there. How are you? Yeah, that was it. Oh, okay. So be careful with the Kenyan ladies. Yeah, I'm careful. I'm a professional. I know I seem like a nice young man, very naive, but I'm not. Ah, maybe they have to be careful with me. How about that? Okay, speaking of replying in real time, thinking of language, I was at a place called the Daily Cafe in Sarit. One of the most consistently good breakfast, lunch spots. Like everything on the menu, very above average, not super expensive. Highly recommended if you're in the Westlands area. That's a good spot. It's on oh god, Sarit is like the most confusing mall ever to find a place, but you can get it. You can walk into the entrance because it has a downstairs, outside, and upstairs. And I think you can get in on the first floor, um, up the escalator. I'm ordering an omelet. Okay, the omelet you can get different things, just cheeses, whatever, peppers, whatever you want. Custom omelet. I'm ordering. I'm like, and this is why I need to increase my Swahili, which I'm trying. Okay, because everyone says Kenyans speak perfect English. They do. No, oh yeah, they do. But it's a British English, and American accent doesn't translate very well sometimes. So I'm like, okay, I have an omelet, and I'm pointing to it because I realize like he don't. I don't think he can understand my accent, right? And I'm not blaming. And this like just so you know where this energy is coming from. I'm the one with the accent here. So I need to communicate so he can understand me. It's not his fault, right? So I'm like, okay, do an omelet. I want feta, onions, peppers, tomatoes, and I could see that I like he was saying yes, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't think he knows what I'm saying because I repeated myself a couple times. Like he's like, okay, okay, and I knew this was gonna happen, but like I don't really care anyway. Like I'm chill, like whatever. Again, my foundation of like being an adult was the military in the army, so I don't no I'm not tripping. Nothing could go to the level of being on deployments and dealing with the stress and all that kind of stuff. So I I'm whatever. Amma comes. It's got spinach and mushrooms and nothing that I said. And I'm like, yeah, what? And I don't like spinach and mushrooms, even as a vegetarian. It doesn't make sense, I know. But I still ate it, and it was still made well. But I know it was going to happen. And so you will run into times where people don't understand you as an American accent, for sure. So I thought it was just funny. I don't know. I was like, because there's a lot of content like Americans say, oh, everyone speaks English. There are like communication difficulties sometimes. Um, but then the other funny thing is, and this is why I get shy about practicing Swahili is like they don't expect me to say Swahili words. So for a second, they're like, they look so confused, because I could order like I say Nilate Maji Baridi Kubwa for the big one, and they'll be like, "What?" And I know my accent; I'm not pronouncing probably words that good, but at the same time, they're also not expecting to hear me say that. Um, so it's always a funny interaction that happens. But I'm shy about my accent in Swahili, but I do know some words actually. Like I can pick some things out sometimes. Not good enough to be conversational or anything, but I can get a gist from time to time. Tim Black, every time the news covers story in Africa, they sensationalize it so much that people in the West runs with it, including myself. Yeah, because while the protests were happening in Kenya, they were burning cop cars and throwing rocks and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with the police in LA, right? But the police don't shoot people like that in protests. So that is, to be fair, that is the difference. And I'm not saying if it's right or wrong or whatever the circumstances of that's happening here. I'm just saying one is different than the other in some degree. Yeah. How does your family and close friends feel about your relocation? I think that's very challenging. And I have two dogs that I love very much that are older. They're 13 and 11. Um, so it's kind of like that's probably actually my dogs are probably the biggest stress. Like while I'm here, I feel like I'm being a little irresponsible. What if they get sick or something? Because they're really healthy, but I do get worried about that, and they're older. So I'm like, dang, I'm like not spending time with them for 3 months. I know I'm like, I sound like a sucker loving my dog so much, but that I really do. And that's challenging. My best friend, I feel like is a little sad because we're like real close. But I think I'll travel back and forth, and he'll travel, and I think he would. This isn't really his thing, Like I don't know how much he would like the lifestyle here, but he would be interested in the opportunities. We do the real estate stuff together. We've done house flipping. He has a contractor license. He's like the most amazing person. Does a million things, past the bar, politics, construction. He can fix any car on the side of the road. He can fix your house. He's crazy, crazy individual that can do everything. Um, that was challenging. But we're kind of privileged to be able to travel and have money to travel, and that's why I got like a 2 bedroom. So it does, it's just a plane ticket, um, and we can hang out, I guess. My mom, I'm not that close with a lot of people, but I think they would just come out. Like I'll have my mom come out here. I think it'll be a good time. Um, and just do that. And then I'll come back, because not for nothing, my mom lives in the same town as me, and I don't really see her that much. Because usually I'm working in the U.S. like I'm running around, but I don't know. We don't take the time to, um, I don't know. We don't take the time to see people sometimes, or at least I'm always in work mode. Which I didn't even talk about this. Like I almost canceled coming here because my mom was in the hospital like 2 days before, and she had like, um, oh man, I don't know if I could talk about this. Uh, she 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 was feeling sick, and then she said she drove herself to the hospital, which is annoying because she didn't even call tell me what was going on. And they were like, "You have only 10% kidney function." Like what? And her neck was swollen. She had some kind of thing going on. She could barely breathe. And my mom's not that old. My mom is 16 years older than me. She's only her early 50s. And I don't, so that this was right before so I was like, I might have to cancel the trip or just figure something out. So I spent, I actually didn't pack or prepare. I was going to buy clothes. I was going to do a lot different, more stuff before I came here. I actually got here very unprepared because I was at the hospital. And I wasn't even sure I was going until the day of. But she basically made me go because she knows I'm kind of what we were talking about before. Coming here the first time really messed things up for me in the U.S. just because you know uh, dang, this is kind of personal. It messed things up. Just I don't know. Kenya was calling me ever since, and I just the I don't know I don't know how to say it without trying to because it's not that the U.S. is bad. It's just that for me, Kenya was calling me. Like I don't know. It's just I was done with the U.S. I'm tired of like the social aspect of it, and everyone's working, and like there's a million things. I'm not trying to get into all that, but I think she knew that I really wanted to come out here, so she was like, "You got to go." And her situation was improving. And I guess to bring a long story short, we still don't know what the heck happened, but her kidney function went up. I think she had like an allergic reaction to one of her medicines that she was taking or something. So when that stuff happens, and then if someone goes to the hospital and you're out here, and I'm the oldest, so I'm kind of responsible for everybody. I'm not, but I feel like I am. I don't know, for my parents getting older and stuff. So I don't know. It's those are some of the realities that you would face being out here that probably I haven't really thought about that much until my mom goes to the hospital. So it depends how you view family, what kind of family you have, but it's a real challenge for sure. And just like I don't know. I kind of looked at it because I joined the military and I was away for 4 years. Like I basically was gone on my own journey out of high school, and then I had a desire to come back. But when I came back, I was like, "This sucks." Like, but the cool thing is you do get to see family. But I think you can still do it. I think you can still do it. Because again, we live in the same town. I don't see her that much now. That's probably my fault, but you do holidays. You can still do all that stuff. Yep, they're not ready. Thank you. I'm glad we could laugh because I don't know, thinking about you know leaving people behind or whatever gets a little emotional. I think when I get to Africa, the women will have to watch out on the next Air Force. I know you're going to hate Again, yeah, the chair force saying we not. Thank you for your service. Hello, East African English. He's some faked their accent. You were in the army, yeah. 4 years in the army, active duty. '07. Oh my God. '06 to 2010. '07 to '09. I was in Iraq. Can you speak? Yes, Swahili-sized English. The English with Swahili language rules. That's why their sentence structures can be a little off, and they'll speak tonal. Yeah. Oh, the other one is I can't do it. Ladies will do. I can't do it. They raise their eyebrows twice real fast. That means yes, and it never registers. I'm like, yes, and they're like, that's an interesting one. Um, Thank you, Angie. Yeah, that's on the agenda. I got to figure out how to do it because I've been talking to some agencies and stuff in the US, but they're all like, we don't do that to Kenya. I'm like, what? I got to find a company here. How much is it going to be? And then I have a I have a yard at my house. They can my dogs like to swim, and then being in an apartment doesn't seem like a good environment for them, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. 39 people in the room. Hit the like button, everyone. Thank you. Appreciate it. Learn to get rid of your I don't deep thongs when speaking Swahili. Swahili and most Bantu don't use. I don't know what that means. That's why it catches them off guard. Speak more phonetically. Yeah. Click the like button. Oh wow, that's scary. Oh, thanks, guys. Guys, I had planned to make a video that was like why I love or why I'm moving to Kenya. I am having trouble articulating that. I am. I feel like I give bits of it on the live. It's very intangible. I don't know, like, because people say the people are great, but it doesn't just mean like you have a good interaction with a person. It's just like the energy, and then that. What does energy mean? What the vibe? Like these are very like loose terms. But just like okay, when I was at the furniture place, I my mind's always on stuff. So when I'm there, I'm like, dang, that'd be. I wonder what you could do if you were exporting. What's the cost? And I'll go down a rabbit hole. I'll do research. Like that's where I get passion from. Like doing projects like that. Even if you end up not doing, I just want to learn. And so there's so many things to learn. That's one of the aspects that's really cool. Or just opportunity. Like when we were in Tigoni, I've never seen anything like that, to be honest. And then what are the possibilities? What can we do? And also I'm not just in a money making thing. Like there's some kind of aspect where I want to like make sure that I don't know, maybe I bring a cool benefit that people didn't think of. Like if you link up with the furniture people and now they're making more money because they could sell to the US, that'd be dope. I want to do stuff like that. I think in the US, you need a freaking $1 billion to have any impact. And I loved helping people buy like their first house. They're breaking generational curses and all that stuff. Which I try not to buy into all that, but in a real way, the impact. I mean, there's so many people that I've educated, especially like Black Americans in the community about buying houses, property ownership, and all that. And there's people that have a bunch of equity now because they didn't even think they could buy a house, and they saw a piece of my content or whatever I was advertising locally or just meeting people or referrals, and they own a house and they have $50,000, $100,000 worth of equity in their property. Their kids are in a better school district. um, that's what I like to do. Like I like impact, like stuff that really matters. And everything has a business aspect, but it also has to have like a feel good aspect to it for me. And in the U.S. right now, with the affordability, like in real estate, in my field that I primarily do, it's really I don't recommend people buying houses right now. It's a whole different. I mean, that's a general statement. It depends on your situation. But before it was like a rush. Had if they bought when I was saying that they should buy, they're in such a good situation. I feel like you're making an impact on people's lives in a real way that is less. I feel less able to do that in the U.S. right now, if that makes sense, because of the affordability. And I just don't think it's a good idea. I think if you don't have money, like, I mean, it's across the world, but if the rich are getting richer and the people who don't own anything are falling further and further behind, I think it's a big problem. And I benefit from that stuff, but I also see, like, I don't think it's good for society. So, yeah, see this. I don't like to say this because I think you make it real when you say it. But yes, I was pretty miserable in the States since I came back. I just think about coming here, all the things I can do, the freedom that you have, um, the new experiences that you can have. It feels miserable. I don't know. I went to this restaurant Upepo, which is in the Quetu Hotel by Karura Forest. Beautiful place, amazing service. Like, it's just like the best experience you could have. And then, if you got a date or whoever you're with, like, they think it's dope too. It's just like everything just feels better, to be honest. And again, you got to deal with the Uber thing being annoying, and I got the wrong order. Wow, who cares? Like, you do. There are downsides, but ever. This is why I haven't made the video, because I can't articulate it that good. But I'm telling you, you're all now. I'm comparing when I go out in the U.S. I'm like, dude, I spent like $150 for nothing. It wasn't even a good time. Every time I go to Kenya, I have zero stress or depression. So there's something when you travel, though, that you're not working and you're not having to do daily things. So anywhere that you travel that you're not working, you're probably going to feel like it's better. So that's one thing that I want to make sure I'm not being delusional about, because then you live out here, if I'm doing a business, whatever I'm having to do, does it become not as fun or whatever? Like, is it, could you, I think you could put yourself in the same stressful environment here that you could in the US, but I don't know. I'm just being mindful about that. I don't want to engage in any kind of activity that I get stuck not enjoying where I'm at. That is a purple emoji. I don't know what that is. I feel the same way. See, a lot of people feel the same way. I don't know. See, Griffin, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Iraq 0809. Yeah, man. I did 15 months. I actually was attached to Marine units in the West. So I was in Ramadi, TQ to Tatum or whatever. I forget. And then I was at JSS Adamia, which, yep, Army. Thank you, Sunflower. And a hug. Oh, thank you. I want to talk about it's got to go in members only, though. But, you know, I'm a single guy. I would love to uh, settle down with somebody, but goodness gracious, it's tough out here because of, I don't want to sound crass, but the options is crazy. You go out, it's crazy. But above that, I actually wanted to talk about some of the cultural, like when you get into it, like you're having, because I'm like, I've had some substantial relationships out here, like, serious slash semi-serious. The long distance thing, traveling back and forth, makes it a little challenging, and I kind of wanted to talk about, and like the cultural expectations, which I prefer, but 30 something years spent in the US, even if you're not a fan of how the culture is to some degree, you're still part of it and you still think this way. So I think these things are, because a lot of people talk about, oh, the lady, but if you get into it in a longer term thing or you're trying to take it more serious, there are challenges, and I got things going on that I don't know how to handle. It's probably actually one of the biggest themes of me being out here that I'm trying to figure out. As for the culture, how she brought her dog from America to Kenya when you meet her. For the culture. Okay. Who's that? What about citizenship? That whole residency citizenship thing. I want to find a personal attorney that's going to help me with all this stuff. I need a business entity. Oh, I could talk about that maybe later, if I'm still on here. Dang, it's 11:20. I got to get off by midnight so I could sleep at a normal time. Um, Business entity, residency, work permit, all that kind of stuff, taxes. There's going to be content about that. I just got to find the right attorneys that want to talk about this stuff. Rochelle Hawkins. Okay. How do you see Nairobi in 10 years? Dude, every 6 months you come here, like, yo, this building wasn't here. It was crazy. The development that's happening is incredible. I think the only red flag could be the politics instability, could derail things here. I don't think that'll happen, obviously, but I do think that's a big problem. But I think that, I don't know enough because I was with Arvin from Pam Golding. He's an agent. He seemed pretty knowledgeable and sophisticated with business and stuff. He was saying that the infrastructure isn't like the sewer systems and stuff like that are not built up for the level of development that Nairobi has. Because you do see it in the flooding that happens in the city if it rains a lot. It seems minor to me, though. I feel like that seems very fixable. But adding infrastructure after you've already developed stuff seems challenging. I do see that the suburban areas outside of the city are growing just like anytime there's, it's like if a meteor strikes, right? The impact area is the hottest and then the explosion goes out. Those areas are now developing, like Tigoni and all that, where the people are starting to go out there. I don't foresee Tattoo City or Konza City blowing up like that. So I think Nairobi's still going to be pretty good. I hope they could figure out a way to allow development but maintain the greenness of the city, because even if you go somewhere, there's always trees and greenery, and it's it's never just concrete everything. So I hope they can maintain that. The eyebrow thing, yeah. Checking in the support, get the likes up. Thanks, Darnell. Appreciate you as always. Super appreciate that. I appreciate you guys supporting. It means a lot. It's I like doing this, but it is work, to be honest. I gotta, because now I was like, dang, what am I kind of like have to register what I want to talk about. And then, guys, editing is a lot of work. So people complaining about the membership and all this and that. Plus, I bumped into three people in 2 weeks that are buying properties at places that we were talking about, and they were watching the videos. Now, I don't think they owe me anything, but like, to be real, guys, like, there's value in the content, and I would like to capture some of the value. Shoot. So I know people hate when you try to make money, but because what will happen is I won't feel like editing a video, and then I just won't do it. So when you have a membership, you want to deliver for those people. And when people are donating, you want to deliver. And it's not really about the money, but like, it's I don't know. It's appreciation, and a couple dollars is nice, especially because shoot, $2 goes a long way out here. So dang, you guys are in the chat. I spent $200. Wait, he hit another one. Hold on. I work when I travel. I have oh, okay, that's dope. I think being able to work out. That's why you need stable internet, though. So I would make sure your backups work, because you can't be on a Zoom call or something or lose internet and you got to do something. A lot of ex-military guys traveling makes sense. Yeah. Um, I lived in Germany. I've traveled Europe. I've traveled other places after the military. It uh it kind of prepares you to be able to live, because I lived like, dude, I was what was I when did I get to freaking Germany? I was like 18 or 19 in Germany on my own, living, like responsible for myself in another country, you know? So for us, I think it's a little bit easier for us to just get up and travel and do stuff. Oh, there's another big super chat. Hold on, $2 again, Darnell. I spent $200 in BK the other night. Never see, like, you don't even have a good time. People are rude. No one even says hello. Like, oh, when I was at Oyster Bay, when next to the white guy with the two ladies smoking cigarettes and eating deviled eggs, again, very strange situation. There was a Kenyan that lived in Texas. We were sharing the same exposure. So he just started talking to me, and we had a great conversation. Cool, guy was cool as heck. Um, and he's like, "Yeah, man, the U.S. is done." Like, what? He's like, he works. I forget what he does, but he was like, I love coming here. Like, I come here, I'll buy a bottle. I didn't know at Oyster Bay they'll hold your bottle, they'll record your info, and then you could just go there and keep drinking from the same bottle. Um, Over a couple days or whatever, they'll keep your thing there. So that's pretty cool. But he's like, yeah, I'll buy a bottle. I sit here, have a good time. He's like, we did talk about the ladies. He said it's crazy. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, he's like, I gotta calm down. There's too many options. But he was like, it's just like you just have such a better time, and it's not just the affordability. It's just like the vibe, the people. Like, I don't know how. That's the thing. You can't describe the energy that you feel. It's just positivity and warmth all around you that does not exist in the same way in the US. And I think that's why I'm having trouble making a video, because I don't know how to convey that energy to you in a way if you haven't experienced it. So many beautiful women, but meeting Kenyan women of such. Uh, the thing as a foreigner about like that I realize is that you don't have the eyesight to detect class, and honestly you don't have prejudice, because you don't understand the culture and the people and where people are coming from and accents and this and that. Like, so if you hear someone speaking in the US, you kind of know their background a little bit just by their accent or their clothes and things like that. You don't know how to read people here generally, and that takes a while to learn. And what you'll learn, if you're having trouble, if you're on, first of all, if you're on dating apps, I've met nice ladies on dating apps, quality, like classy, for sure. But that's not the best way to meet people. And then we're not asking the right questions, because you want to know where they come from, what they do, stuff like that. A lot of If they got good jobs and stuff, they're going to be more sophisticated and probably less money oriented towards you. Obviously, like, if you're talking to someone that, you know, doesn't have a lot of money and you have a lot of it, you're going to get that. So I don't want to broach into members only stuff too much. I don't want to give too much away about the dating stuff, but I think that cuts across both ways, like any direction they are. But most of the times, you expats are attracted. Yeah, yeah, I think so. That's true. I don't know if it's that they're attracted to that type. They just don't know what the types are. She's a YouTube ex-military, lives in Kenya too. Okay, I got to go back and find her name. I already forgot, but I definitely want to know how she does the dog. I got two dogs. Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Um, Kia from Traverse Culture. Oh, are you talking about her? I know her. Well, I don't know her, but I know of her. Takes 7 years. Business or marriage takes a while. Kenyan lawyer just told me. 3 years if you're married. So I need to get married for citizenship. Who's willing to do it? PC know her friend. Oh, okay. I'm 2 weeks in and I'm in love with. Is this your first time here? I'm the most comfortable I think I've been. Not just superficial on vacation type of relaxation. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's hard. I don't know how to explain that. I really don't know how to explain it. It's yeah, because that's funny. Like you was in Gong Hills. That's a cool little thing to do, but yeah, what I don't know how to describe the energy, the way you feel like in Tigoni, and then the ancestral land thing was playing in my mind, and like the history, and I was talking to the guys. It was just like an incredible experience. It just feels like you're supposed to be there, and I'm not the biggest like pro black pan African dude, although that is kind of my core ideology. I just approach it a lot different than everybody else. Um, but it does feel like you're supposed to be there. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how to talk about it beyond that. I wish the government made them set few apartment aside for affordable housing for Kenyans or make them contribute to affordable housing. Kind of no. So I think this one out my window. They are building affordable housing, and this is probably this is a. But I need my business partner out here for that. I was trying to figure out, and again, I got to learn more. First of all, what's affordable to someone? Oh, okay, yeah. So what's affordable to someone? And then can we build a quality home? It might be small. Like, is there a market to build a starter home for people at what would be considerable affordable in this market? I would love to do that. Do we have people or Kenyans in the chat? Yeah, they're definitely in here. Okay, I know who you're referring. Oh, Blacksit, not Blacksit. Blacksit. She has good information though, but that's that California stuff going on. Politics can spoil things, especially during elections. People get violent. Yeah, I watched a lot of documentaries and stuff about 2007. I mean, that's pretty horrible stuff. Do you live in Nairobi? You guys are talking to each other. Hold on. Uh, I think I would love to pay an editor, but first of all, they're giving me crazy prices. Secondly, I don't know if they have the context. I think why my stuff does well, and I'm not trying to big myself up too much, but I am in real estate, so I feel like I know what to keep in and take out because these videos are kind of long, or the raw footage is even longer than you think. And I think I do a good job of cutting it down to the important parts, and I try to respect the audience's time. So any unnecessary footage, I try to cut. And I do like 3 or 4 cut runs when I'm editing. And will they know what to cut and what to leave in, what's important, what's not? Because there's a lot more conversations where those chats are usually longer, and I'm cutting them. And would someone, whether they're Kenyan or not, would they know what to cut and leave in? I don't really trust it. Just search for the culture. Oh yeah, so many. Oh, C. Griffin, $20 for editing time. Thank you. I appreciate it because editing is the worst. Oh my gosh. And then now I feel like the expectations are getting higher. So I'm like, oh man, this better deliver. But I really thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to work on the Tigoni content this week. And then it's hard because it's like I got a full-time job a little bit. Like well, like sourcing the furniture and everything. It takes like a whole day to do something, like to go to the store and then go to the apartment and then negotiate with them. And, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I wish I had the soundboard. I got to figure that out. Baller alert. Hey, go to the local events like Sip and Paint. Yeah, that's a good one. Not at all. Ryan is my internet bestie. I've never given us. Oh, but he's saving me time in Kenya with condo shopping. Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, because man, I mean, there's just so much going on. I'm hoping to be able to like do a tour of like everything, or at least the good ones. See, here's the thing. I don't know, because I know Austin Holloman be getting sued and people giving him a hard time. So what happens if I have negative things if I really don't like a apartment, right? Because the permission I have is already dubious. They do give me permission, but I don't know. Can they withdraw? I don't know what the laws are about that stuff. So what happens if I go somewhere and they don't like it? Sarah, what? Y'all being spicy in here? I'm loving Kenya too. I'm not even in Nairobi. I stay in Kitengela. Takes 45 minutes. Savo builds affordable housing, no down payment, pay monthly, but you can't move in until you pay it off. Just outside of Nairobi, rent is $100 for a 2 bedroom. Yeah, but what are them places looking like? You're Kenyan from Mombasa. It's easy. You can edit it, Premiere Pro. Yeah, I edit in Premiere Pro, but okay, the Tigoni content, I have 2 hours of raw footage. What do you decide to leave in? Because when I talk to one of these agents, right, like everything they say could be useful, but when you're doing a YouTube video, you got to get it to the point faster. You got to keep it condensed, and also your title and your thumbnail, like, because these conversations, because while we're in Tigoni, we're also talking about the land ownership and other things. And then sometimes you need the context from the other conversation to bring into this conversation. So it gets quite a bit complicated. Sarah's getting a lot of attention in here. What's going on? Y'all getting thirsty in the chat? I can't wait to make real life Kenyan Nairobi friends as a female. I'd be so nervous talking to strangers, especially travel. Yeah, I don't know how it is, as a woman, but I do think, yeah, once you get a friend group, I think that'll be really good. And I saw this on someone else's channel, and I forget who it is, so I would credit them with saying this, but I saw them say he was on a double date with somebody, and the two Kenyan ladies didn't know each other, and by the end of the night, they were like best friends or whatever. Like, so what I got from that, and I totally understood what he was trying to say, is like, people are freaking friendly out here. Because in the U.S., too, you put two ladies, they don't know each other. Next, on it, they're not. There's like low level hostility sometimes between them for whatever reason. So maybe that can kind of convey that. I think you'll have a good it'll be good to have a friend group for sure. But I think it'll be easier to make a friend group here than even in the U.S. Yo, you see a little tiny picture this big. How do you? Oh man, the government is building affordable housing in mass volumes. These units will flood the market just before elections. Yeah. Um, as a low government person, I think the government directly building them isn't good, but it is good to have affordable housing for people for sure. But how could they incentivize developers to do it is what I would think, right? Yes. Y'all need to chill. Sarah's my girlfriend. Are you serious? Sarah's probably from a major Kenyan tribe. Sarah looks okay. That picture's really small. I can't guess. Loads of friendly expats. I'm not a. I know I hang out with Kai all the time, but I'm not a big expat person. Like I'm not trying to hang out with a bunch of Americans or foreign. You all stop it. Dang, y'all got thirsty in the chat. That's crazy. She said you could be right. Sarah's a Kikuyu lady. The picture's really small, but that would be my guess there. Um, was there anything else we were going to talk about? It's almost midnight. Don't look at this table. It's messy. Don't look at the bed either. It's messy. Y'all are tripping in here. That is crazy. Um, I don't know. What else do we want to talk about? I got 15 minutes. I got to go to sleep. I was sick too. I was not feeling well. I got it because I didn't sleep. I couldn't sleep till 5 a.m. every night. Then I was going out to Tigoni. We was getting our steps in, walking up hills through the tea farm. I was tired. We didn't get back till like 8 o'clock at night. Uh, you guys are ridiculous. I want all different type of friend Kenyans, expats, continentals. Think it's important to have a network. You do need to know some expats because their experience they could share with you about how like because Kenyans don't have the context. Because I keep telling them they're like, oh, you're overblowing this thing when you go shopping and the prices. I'm like, bro, anywhere I walk in, everybody be looking at me for a second, like that's just how it is. And it works good. It's good and bad. You go to Oyster Bay, everybody look at you. It's nice. You go to the furniture place, everybody look at you. You look like you got a bunch of money. Is You're going to deal with a different situation. So finding the people that don't do that is helpful. You have to be careful choosing friends in Nairobi too. Yeah, for sure. Man, this one girl told me she was dating a Caribbean UK guy, and he got a best friend pregnant. I said, "Oh, who does that? Why would She said the best friend took the guy's number out of her phone and secretly linked up with him. That's how crazy things can get out here. Clothes shopping for plus sizes and tall. Ronnie wrong. You have to tell real from fake friends. Sometimes rural or upcountry folk seem more genuine. Yeah, the Nairobi ladies, you got to be careful. You can't be no rookie out here. That's the thing. When people travel here for a short period of time, this stuff doesn't matter because it doesn't. Okay, well they, I don't know, bought them something or whatever. Their intentions really didn't matter because you're not there for a long time. But if you're trying to be somewhere for a long time, it does get more complicated. What is going on in here? Y'all are funny. What? Sarah didn't tell us what tribe. I would guess Kikuyu. I always miss your live by minutes this time I'm here. What's up, Brandon? I know I'm about to get off in like 15 minutes. But I thought we did a good one today. I, do I need to like make the thumbnails look more different because the lives all kind of look the same? Is that confusing? But then, but then the thumbnail could be misleading because we end up talking about anything. I gotta make the thumbnail before we put it out. See, dang, they talking about us, and I don't know what they saying. I think the Kenyan ladies got to look out for the Americans because y'all not ready for that. They on some different time. I'm not saying me, but some of, I don't know, because they're used to getting the white guy sponsor, and I feel like a lot of them they don't mind. I don't know. I see them Thailand stories from them old dudes going out there, and they buying these girls houses and cars and all kinds of stuff, and then acting surprised when they didn't like them in the first place when they're like 65 years old and the girl's like 21. Like, what did you expect? Essence Fest. Who's everything you see on this channel? I made it. Okay. Even the members badges, I customized and made the members badges. They're like little coins, and they're different. They start iron and they get gold and platinum and all that, depending on how long they're members. I spent a whole bunch of time doing it just because I thought it was cool. I do the thumbnails, I do the editing, I do the shooting, I do the. Kai will set up some people sometimes that we'll meet with, um, but I do everything. I'm talking to the people who we're going to meet. Then they're asking me, you know, they're always like, everyone's all nervous all the time. Like, just do, like, I don't want them to be prepared. I want to ask them, when they're not ready with a good answer. This way you can know, really what people think. I'm American Caribbean, so I got my free Kenyan citizenship, I think. Wait, do you have a Caribbean passport? Because now you don't need a ETA. PC, we're just talking small stuff, not about you guys. Oh, see, Griff. Oh, okay. You can ask her for her IG, but all these guys, y'all thirsty in here. We are still your cousins, okay? See, Griffin. No LinkedIn only, huh? Ryan needs also to start a matchmaking thing here on live. I don't want no parts of that. You got to watch the Pan African Dating Show, but that's in Uganda. But I do watch that. It's pretty interesting. I know they were doing a live before. LinkedIn, no. So LinkedIn is actually like kind of big here. I feel like because Jay Rello to do the thumbnail. Yo, he's messaging me. Oh, he's messaging me now. I feel bad, but the time difference makes it hard to link up. Plus, I don't think my connection's stable enough to even bring people on here. Although last time it was fine. I don't really understand what's happening. Oh, you have a Caribbean passport, so you're probably good. You just got to make sure your country's in there. Kenyans don't like cameras. Yeah, Kenyans, and I totally get it. They're private, so like they don't like content. They don't want people knowing how much money or what kind of business they do. They don't want to be on the internet. I understand all that stuff. But like, do you know the power of the internet? Like that's how people are finding people to work with out here. She said, I am not a scammer, dual citizen. Sarah, I will find you on there. It's just a preference. LinkedIn is Popular here more than Instagram. And people are on Facebook, Kenyans, I notice. A lot of people will have an Instagram, but they won't have anything on it in Kenya. Because what a lot of people will use WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp has stories. How's even LinkedIn popular than IG? I don't know if it's more popular, but it's more popular than like the US. Like people actually use it. And I think people in the US use it, but not as much. Relo's coming out here. Oh boy, y'all not ready for that. I can't wait to see what his experience is like. Pop the balloon. I can't watch Pop the Balloon because it's the degradation of all society and all things wrong with the U.S. culture. They don't like your shoes. They pop the freaking balloon. What is that? What? That's the problem with the U.S. is nobody cares about character. Like they care about how much money you got, how accomplished, what things have you done. They don't. You could be the worst person in the world, but if you got the right clothes, the right chain, and all that kind of stuff, yes, WhatsApp. Sarah's very popular in here. C. Griffin, again, thank you so much. Also, Willis Wilson, thank you. Appreciate you guys. It means a lot. It makes it worth it because I was not feeling like hopping on here, to be honest. I didn't go outside today because I was at Milan. I woke up at noon. I drank 2 liters of water. I didn't drink too crazy, so I was okay. But if y'all saw who we was with at Milan, mm, y'all in Kenya for character. It is different. I wouldn't say that. Nerd Novatech, thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Always appreciate your support. You're on everybody's stuff. Shout out to you. Uh, I don't know. It's different. There's a money game here on the dating aspect, but not everyone. I've dealt with plenty of ladies that never asked or talked about money, not one time. I really appreciated the Emerald video. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought um, that will be the standard going forward. I think we learned some things from previous videos, and I had a little bit more prep time to get that one going on. So that'll be good. But yeah, basically, I want to do that same concept everywhere. The Gemlin one is messed up a little bit because I didn't have the second mic. I wasn't expecting to do that day, and then the dang power went out. But I thought the conversation was faith. So what I want to do is like I just want to bring you guys the interviews of the people that are in these industries and let you make your own decisions about what you think because there's contradictory information. Everyone has a different style and opinion, and we're just going to bring them all. Um, I do feel a responsibility to make sure we don't like add bad information on here, but I'm not always qualified to vet the people like that. So just I don't know. That's kind of the ideology here. Willis, Sarah's cheating on you. Oh my God. Sarah, how could you? Do you still want to get a? No, I'm sorry. When I said F-150, I I mean a Ranger, Rap, Ranger with the Raptor package, or maybe Wild Track, but the Raptor has the better off-road suspension and such, or Isuzu, or any kind of smaller truck, Toyota Helix. I just want to kit it out real nice. Men like the beautiful, friendly women, let's be honest. And there's a lot of them, and they're pretty much all pretty friendly. You don't like I don't like that's why I do it while we're walking through the property because then they're not prepared that same way. And when I say interviews, yeah, I mean I want to try to set it up in a certain way that they will be honest. And I'm cognizant like when people I don't like when people are trying to sell, like just tell me the information. You don't need to sell. The people that want to buy will find you, you know? And that's what I try to explain. Some people get it, some people don't. But some of these people I haven't met. So, but once I take the time to link up with them, I feel like I want to at least get something out of it with the content. If they're like, if I don't think they're any good, then I won't put it up there though. C. Griffin is a woman. Yes, yes, she is. Our my bestie on here. C. Griffin. Appreciate you. Yes, 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 she is. Well, hopefully by the end of this week, I will have the keys and be starting to furnish the apartment. It'd be great if I could at least get a bed and the basic things in there in time and get the heck out of here. How much is your monthly expense for your apartment? I kind of forget what the service charge is. It's either 5,000 or 8,000 shillings, which is 40, 50 bucks maybe a month. Hey, Willis Wilson, thank you. $2 sticker. And then I don't know how to calculate what the energy usage would be and the water, but I don't think it's a significant cost. See, Griffin, are you from Louisiana? Since you like the Saints? Spending money here is weird because every day you're spending money because of Uber. Like if I look at my transaction history, it's insane the amount of transactions. But I don't know. First of all, I've been outside doing a lot of stuff, so I feel like I've been spending a lot of money. Um, but like everything you do, like I'm spending a lot of money. Like I'm not cooking in this small little kitchen. I don't like doing that. So I've been ordering a lot. It's kind of tough. Ryan, is there any other monthly charges besides service charge like insurance or anything? No, no insurance. Um, I'm not sure. I don't think the off plan have any land rate taxes associated with them, but maybe that's covered under the service charge. I don't think there's any individual tax. Just the master association has to pay probably some kind of land rate, but just the service charge 5 or 8,000 shillings, probably like let's call it 50 bucks. Um, water, electric. That's really it. Oh, you're from Louisiana but live in North Carolina. Oh, good to know. Good to know. But all that Ubers is like $100 to $200 a month. Yeah, I should add it up because I have no idea. But you're spending 3, 7, $12. Then you're doing it both ways every day, depending on where you're going. I feel like I'm spending a lot of money because like you're spending money, but it's not a lot. But like in the U.S., I can go many many days without spending any money. Here I'm spending a lot, but when I have the car, when I have the apartment, I have food, I have like stuff, then I can drastically decrease what I'm spending. Plus, I'll probably hang out at the house more often than going out because sometimes I just instead of ordering food, I'll just go out somewhere. And then see now I'm out with the vibe, so now I'm gonna get a drink. So now I'm spending a little bit more money. And I don't know, like if you do it every day, I feel like you could spend a lot, and that's kind of what I've been feeling like. Plus, the club can be expensive. Kai was going crazy the other day. He was balling. He was not on a budget. And I was like, bro, I'm trying to furnish a property. I'm trying to, uh, and the real estate business in the US is not going crazy. So some of my income is a little low from that. So I'm trying to be a little budget friendly, and buying bottles in a club, although is less than what it would be in the US for the same experience, still costs some money. Like the one time we went out, we spent $400 at Black Samurai for what we got, two bottles. The dang girl, see, this is what happened. They ordered a bottle of Moet, and that joint was 35,000 shillings for some stupid champagne. That that shouldn't happen. And then we got it. So, I don't drink Hennessy, but somehow a bottle of Hennessy got there. And so then, juice and water and all that kind of shisha. So end up being $400. But the freaking Moet bottle was the most. Griffin, you're single. No longer like. Have you ever boarded a matatu? I don't think I'm gonna do that. I mean, at some point I probably will, but no, I have not. I think they're cool, but I don't think I want to be doing a matatu thing. Willis, haha. You're still in holiday mode. Yeah, I'm kind of in holiday mode, spending money, going crazy. But I think this week I won't be doing that. This week, I gotta get the apartment situation sorted out. So that's the goal. Real estate, trucking, it's all doing terrible, but they are about to start printing money, so you know what that means. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think things are going to get better. You think 2K a month with a paid off property in Nairobi can still live my best life? Yeah, pretty much. Um, I think 3 to 4 thousand, like you literally don't even have to think about anything. You just literally do whatever you want. 2K is a healthy budget though, especially with everything paid off. I mean, you got to really like you got to be doing a lot to spend over 2,000. But you could like, okay, are you buying clothes? Because like I want to get some clothes made, right? And NC Nairobi, no, and I gotta find some more people, but his stuff is not that cheap. He's custom shirts like 20,000 shillings. You get the Dormy girls to come out with the firework things. Yeah, yeah, they come out with the fireworks things a lot. It's all in my close friends on my IG. I truck on the hazardous side money. Oh, that's smart. And refrigeration too, is that good? I just stick to Uber. Willis, good question. Good luck with that. 3K, a lot of money in Kenyan shillings. Yeah, 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 for sure. The top 10% in Kenya make 100,000 shillings or more, which is like $700. Oh, sorry, people are asking me things. We hope to see you in your new spot. I don't know if I'll be able to move in, but I better have the keys and have the arrangements for the designer to start doing it or something by Sunday. 2K and no large home expenses seems reasonable. I guess you guys spend a lot on dating multiples. Um, that's probably, but where most of your money goes going out. If you don't go out, you're not going to spend any money. I mean, you'd probably be good with like $700 for groceries and utilities and all that stuff. You're definitely probably fine with that. And you could go out. You just can't go out to the top tier type places. If you go local, you could do it. The writing is on the wall for the West. We all know that, but when they start printing assets go up, yeah, I mean that's why I still have property. So I'm still tied to that. If stuff goes up, I'll keep increasing the rent. If I want to sell something and get more money, I'm actually in the process of selling a property, and I was going to reallocate some of those funds to doing something over here. It's part of my car fund and stuff. He said I wouldn't spend on dating if I'm with you. What's your IG? Oh my God. Top 10%. No, that's average 5-year job experience with a degree. 100K? I thought that was the top 10% income bracket in Kenya, not Nairobi. Nairobi might be up. Jerry's turn. What's up, man? Willis born again. Dang, he's giving his IG up. That's what's up. What's up, Jerry's turn? How are you? What's going on? Oh, I'm past my time. Well, I had a really fun time with you guys. It's midnight, and I hopefully you guys enjoyed the live. I so appreciate all the membership. Oh, this is Rello's account. I didn't realize that. Well, I'm about to get off. I would send you. I would have sent you the link, but I'm a little scared my thing's gonna crash because I have one bar on my StreamYard. You made 120 out of uni. What do you do? My husband and I have a trucking business, and it's been down for 2 years. We don't do hazmat though. Yeah, real estate's down bad in the U.S. I mean, why the heck would you sell your house right now or buy a new one? The rates, everything. But I think this is the way of the world. There's rich people and then there's everybody else. So if you're not in that category, the rich are getting richer and the middle class is going away. I think in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, we had a thriving middle class, but that was rare in the arc of history. And I think it's going away. Oh, you're an accountant? Are you in Kenya? I want to talk to some accountants to understand, like, what the heck taxes are we supposed to be paying? Like, I have a rental property, right? I think you're supposed to pay a monthly to the KRA. What is it, 8% on the gross? 120K in killing shillings, not US dollars. Yeah. Dang. I thought that was top 10% over 100. But again, shout out to Willis Wilson, $20 super chat, $5 super chat, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Darnell always checking in with us. $2 super chat times 2. Appreciate you. I really appreciate the gesture. It's always greatly appreciated. And C. Griffin with the big $20 super chat. I appreciate you. It's paid yearly for rent, not monthly. That's not what the KRA site be saying. But I may misinterpret it, so I don't know. But I was transferred to Zambia when our company expanded. Prince, what's going on, man? I'm about to get off. It's midnight here in Kenya. I gotta go to sleep. Gotta go argue about the handover process some more. Got to get the hopefully the designer meets with me tomorrow. She said Monday, but I don't know. I haven't heard from her today. So we'll see. Hopefully, we can do some content about furniture and um, oh, my brain. Oh, interior design. Maybe we could do because we do a collab. She has a lot of followers and a lot of views and stuff. So we'll see. Ryan, be careful with KRA. Yeah, I want to be careful. I want to give them all the money that they're supposed to have. That's what I want to do. Thank you, Sarah. You got all these people checking for you. I think I covered everybody. Do you see Austin's house party? Yeah, I saw that. See, that's how you save money too. I did see that. It's weird because we're in proximity, so it feels voyeuristic to look at his stuff, and I haven't met him yet. I'm sure I will. But it was just like it's weird now watching people. Hey, thank you, thank you. I obviously there's probably um, I'm telling you the stuff that's happening in real time, so I feel like it could be the content's a little bit better. Yeah, Carrie don't play, and I ain't trying to play with them. Plus, I feel like I'm doing a good thing, giving the Kenyan government the proper amount of money they're supposed to get. Whatever, I'm cool with all that. But Ronnie, I need some. Tell me about what's my tax obligation? You don't know tax stuff? It's paid yearly because some months you may not have rent. Why does it say that you're supposed to pay monthly? I saw that somewhere. KRA is like the IRS PC. Same thing. Kenyan Revenue Association? I don't know. You should check out Gecko. They have great live music. Yeah, I've been hearing about Gecko from Austin. Bye, cheater. You guys are funny. What's the social house I've been seeing? I'm not going nowhere this week. That's probably a lie, but yeah, that's why you have to be careful. Yeah. I don't know if I would have a house party. I would have a little kickback thing. Talk next chat will explain. Oh, authority. I only cheat so I can get more experience for my life. Oh my god. Willis is funny. I appreciate your contributions today because you guys are part of the show. Because I wouldn't have anything else to talk about, you know? As always, uh, I guess, well, subscribers don't mean nothing, to be honest, but it's cool for your own vanity when people subscribe. So subscribe. Thanks, guys. And then the membership, all the content comes out 30 days in members only before it goes public. So if you want the early access, the inner circle, if you guys want consultation or need like to talk to me about something, usually on the business side, but whatever you want to talk about, the inner circle is the level for you. And I appreciate all the supporters in there. If you want to show love, support the channel, we're going to do cool stuff and provide a lot of value. We're going to have some spicy, maybe we'll do like a members only live and we'll really talk about what's going on. Plus, if you guys, I post a little bit of like some lifestyle stuff in there that's on members only. Nice little date I was on was up in there, stuff like that. It'll definitely will be a little bit more spicy. Also, if we have really, really, really good business content, that may just stay um, in members only. So that's what's the plan right now. The coast tour. How do you do a fundraiser? I got to talk to Rello about that because how busy I am now, I'm never going to get to it. But if people donate to the tour, then I'll do it. I'll do Diani to Malindi. Diani to Malindi real estate tour. But it's a lot of work. I got to find the right agents, the right people, to do research on different things, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys want to see that, I'm gonna do some kind of fundraiser or something. But you guys let me know. But there's a lot of stuff for me to cover here in Nairobi and the adjoining counties. Still looking at land. But yeah, be on the lookout for the Tigoni content. I think it's going to be magical and amazing, and you'll learn a lot. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Hit me up if you need something. Talk to you later.